And the words that we all wait to say every Thursday evening, buonasera a tutti. Good evening, everybody. It is December 11th, 2025, rapidly approaching the final Thursdays of 2025 and looking toward 2026. Hope it's been a nice holiday season for everybody. And guys, we weren't here all together last week. The week before that, we had Thanksgiving. So not only did we want to celebrate by having all three of us back today, but we have a fourth brother with us tonight. Looking forward to having it. Great, Jay. Great to have you back. We missed you last week. Sending all of our love to your family. Brandon, as always, my brother. Glad to have you back on tonight. And Rob Szolosi, our friend and brother in podcasting over on Football After Hours, the show that Brandon and I do Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights. Rob's kind of this one who spearheads and kind of oversees that whole operation. So excited and thrilled to have him on tonight to talk football, talk basketball, and everything else. Because even though it's football after hours, we always find a way to sneak in multiple other sports as well. So,
yeah, I'm excited to talk some baseball stuff too. That's part of why I'm here today. Because
it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had a very, the winter meetings just wrapped up yesterday with the Rule 5 draft. There's a lot of surprising moves that happened over the last few days. We saw pretty much the demolition of the New York Mets core with Edwin Diaz going to the Dodgers and with Pete Alonso going to the Orioles, which is probably, at least we'll say, at least he's not going to Boston, but, he's still in the AL West or the AL East for the next decade. So we'll see. But with all that being said, we'll get right into it. And excuse me. So what do you want? You guys want to start with the winter meetings since we just talked about baseball and those just wrapped up yesterday?
Yeah, let's do some winter meetings.
All right, cool. So I'll start with this, and I'll start with you, Rob. Mm-hmm. What team, for what they did in the winter meetings, what team stuck or individual moves stuck out the most to you? And has anything really changed in the baseball landscape thus far, or do you think that some of the biggest moves are still yet to be made?
I think there's a lot to get done. I'm very confused by the New York Mets. I'm confused by the Yankees, but I'm more confused by the Mets. I don't get what they're doing. Like I don't understand what's happening in baseball this year, because it does feel like teams are more. I don't know if this is just a New York thing or if you guys are noticing this across the rest of the country, but teams are more hesitant with budgets this year. And I think part of it is because they know that the salary cap is coming, or at least that's the conversation we're going to be having at this time next year with the CBA, and whatever.
I think it's really the CPA at large, I think, is what's causing a lot of this. Not just the salary cap, but I think it's the CBA at large that's causing this.
Oh yeah, no, I fully agree. But I also don't like the idea that, especially for the Mets with their ownership, I don't like the fact that they are like, well, hey, we're here to spend. We did it with Soto, and now we're not going to do it with one of our most important players on top of it. And then, of course, all the weird trades that they've done that I know you guys have talked about at length. I just don't get it. I get it because of what's about to happen in the next year when it comes to baseball. So I get that aspect of it. But I also don't get it from the perspective of, hey, you guys actually wanted to go out and spend money, and all you guys really did, at least from a casual fan perspective, is Juan Soto, and he didn't even have a good first half of the year. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that you hit on, and I'm going to kick this over to Jay next. I think that you hit on a couple of the key things where it's not just what they have done, it's what they haven't done. But it wasn't just one. They've said goodbye to three of their key players over the last couple of weeks. They let Pete Alonso walk. The Edwin Diaz thing sounds like that was more in his control. It sounds like he could have stayed in Met if he wanted to. It sounds like he just chose to go to LA, which, whatever. And then they actively traded Brandon Nimmo. So it's like, and that's one of the things that's making a lot of people, myself very much included, think like there's got to be something that they're setting up for. I don't know if it's a Kyle Tucker I don't know if it's a Tatsuya Imai, excuse me. I don't know exactly who it is per se, but
I mean, the rumors are that it is Tucker, but to make 3 significant moves just to get Tucker sounds insane to me.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
yeah. Well, excuse me, sorry. I know that there was also some discussion about Cody Bellinger. The latest that I've heard, which was just in the last 1 or 2 hours, is that there's still not major players on the Bellinger market. So unless something changes in that regard, it doesn't sound like that has really shifted their pursuit of him, or at least their intensity of whatever that pursuit was. But Jay, I'll go over to you. What's your take on all this? Do you?
I feel a little bit the opposite way. Not fully though. So first off, to answer your first question as to who's like made the biggest impact, that's a 2-part answer. Obviously, right now it's the Orioles when it comes to signing Pete Alonso, which I gotta say, by the way, enjoy that left field wall because it's not favorable to Pete Alonso. I mean, Pete Alonso hits for power. Does he hit all the way out there for that power is the next thing. And even as a Yankee fan, I'm not terrifically worried about that because, let's not put – these are just the base numbers, and I'm not saying that tells the full story. I think his OPS is still good against us. But Pete Alonso's got like a 231 average, 27 hits, 11 homers, 31 RBIs, and 23 runs scored in the 32 games he's played against us as Yankees. Now he's going to be playing a couple of more against us, so maybe we factor that in. But at the same time, with all those factors involved, I'm not entirely worried.
Right.
I got to say it's more perplexing on the Orioles' part to me than it is on the Mets' part.
Especially when the Mets or when the Orioles put $50 million more than everyone else.
Right, and that's not towards what they really need, which is pitching. That's what they need to get back in to the AL East. And let's call this for what it is. They need to get back in. I mean, they have a good young core that literally looks like carbon copies of each other. I think Adley can bounce back. I don't need to say anything about the rest of the lineup. They're sneaky. They can be sneaky good when they're ready. But again, the Orioles gave away their pitcher in Grayson Rodriguez. They must know something we don't. But then they, now you have a big platoon at first base with Pete Alonso, Ryan Mountcastle, who isn't a terrible hitter, and Kobe Mayo. So
I think one of those last 2 is gone.
Yeah, or Kobe Mayo's gone for sure, but or a down back in the minors. But that being said, I don't really hate it for the Mets because as a buddy of mine at work who is a Met fan said, how and as some other person, I was reading a social media post that was sent to me by another Met fan that I take the train with every day. They said, "Oh, I must have missed the parade in Flushing when it came to people like Nimmo, Alonso, and Edwin Diaz." And that's very true. That's a valid take. I think it's a sweeping take, but it is a very valid take. And, I just read to you the numbers against, their crosstown rivals in us. And us, us, I mean being, the Yankees. Sorry, Rob. But it from that perspective, it does make sense. Now, where they are going is what worries me because I'm a Yankee fan who wants to re-sign Cody Bellinger. I feel like that's a part of the strategy here. I think they're in the sweepstakes with us on Cody Bellinger. And I'm going to say it. So far, this offseason has just been busted, in my view. It's just like
Can I jump in on that really quick, Jay? Because I think what I'm about to say is going to put the Yankees from a casual point of view.
Yeah.
Why run this roster back again? I don't get it.
Why do it? This is
Why bring back Bellinger when you can't even figure out your defense half the year? You can't get close to a World Series. This roster can't win a World Series. I don't think it can.
I disagree. I think this is, with the exception of bringing back somebody like Goldschmidt, because I think Goldschmidt is now past his prime. Yeah. He's definitely past his prime.
The Mets want him now. I heard that.
And the Mets want him. I'm good with the Mets taking him. That's the guy I'm good with the Mets. This is actually the most comfortable I would be, assuming again that we add another pitcher or another 2 pitchers for that matter. This would be the run roster that I am okay with running it back with. They had one of the best offenses in the league last year. It's just that we couldn't capitalize. If we adjust the defense and we re-sign Cody Bellinger, I think we're good. And remember, let's put it in perspective. Injuries notwithstanding on Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger was about as good as a player as Kyle Tucker was last year.
With ability to play more positions.
Right. He's more multifaceted, which is why I'm more in the Cody Bellinger camp than I am in the Kyle Tucker camp. And by the way, even for the Mets, Kyle Tucker doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense because, again, their left field.
He's out of position.
Yeah, their right field. Yeah, and their right field is not, friendly to Kyle Tucker. And for us, yes, as Brandon is saying, he would be out of position. So do we need to make the adjustments? Do I feel like, I think our primary concern is pitching, bullpen, and defense. And if we can make a good, we'll inevitably have to make a good trade or a big trade because we have to account for injuries and whatnot. I'm okay with that. If the Mets' strategy is to sign either Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger or whoever else, that's where this gets weird for me because it's not a guarantee. You are gambling the market on not one, but 2 Boris clients. Kyle Tucker is a Boris client, right?
And then on top of that, like this team went big and didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They just didn't, and they weren't good down the stretch in the second half of the year. I don't think that changes much as I have my concerns about the Yankees. These moves, I think they're a lesser team than they were last year and didn't even make the playoffs. I don't get it.
The Mets, you mean, or the Yankees?
The Mets.
Yeah, and I have to eat my words now because I did say like on a previous show that there's no way Scott Boras lets Diaz and Alonso walk because he has to bring asses to seats. I mean, fair enough. He still has Lindor and Soto to do that. But I mean, if Lindor and Soto are not winning you championships right now, and if I'm going to use the Met logic on letting go of Diaz and Alonso, then yeah, I'm a little baffled here because while I do think Devin Williams just had a bad start with us, and I really think we missed out on re-signing Devin Williams, and I think that's a burn. I would still say it's a little bit to gamble on him. But I mean, yeah, the Dodgers obviously made the most significant splash of the winter meeting so far. I don't. Again, my Met fan buddy at work. He's like, I don't know how I go for like paying that much for Edwin Diaz, But I mean, if the Dodgers have an embarrassment of riches. I can't even hate anymore because the hate, number one, is making me exhausted. We're running out of ways to hate them, and they're, but
I don't care what the Dodgers do. The only thing I care about is the fact that they're not going to let their players play in the WBC. That's all I care about with them.
Yeah. Which means, yeah. Oh my God, that sucks. But it's they made the most significant move because they did actually need a closer because they were kind of hobbled at that position last year, and they still managed to win a World Series without it. They want to be the new dynasty and have a three-peat, so I don't hate him for wanting Edwin Diaz. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you can't blame them for beefing up their bullpen because the bullpen was a chief weakness of them last year. I mean, if you asked them or any other Dodgers fan, they weren't supposed to go to a Game 7. They were supposed to win this in at least 5. And 5 would be giving the Blue Jays a courtesy win. But yeah, I don't know. What I need to happen though now is the winter meetings are over. I need Brian Cashman to get out of his sleeping bag and actually start making moves. Let's pick this up, Cash.
The Yankees
I don't hear anymore from Hal about money.
Yeah, the Yankees feel like they're a sleeping bag while also having a microphone so you can hear the snoring.
Yeah, I couldn't say that better than myself. I think, yeah, I'm just like, guys.
Well, see, that's what I was telling. That's what I was trying to tell you, Scoop, the other day when I was saying, what are the Yankees waiting for? Like, because the thing is, it's not so much about like jumping the gun and maybe paying a little too much for guys. I just want the Yankees to be proactive on the guys that they want. Like, because it's like a lot of teams that are striking. Well, look at the Dodgers, like loading up with Edwin Diaz, or they're in the market heavy for Tariq Skubal. Like those are things I want the Yankees to be doing. Like that's like I'm not saying they have to get everybody, but at least be a little bit proactive. Like we've heard nothing from the Yankees camp, not much since they re-signed Tim Hill. Yeah. So like it's a little bit. It's tough. What I'm thinking right now when it comes to all this kind of trade talk and free agent talk is we just heard, I think in the last 48 hours that the Yankees might look to move Jazz Chisholm. And
yeah, I heard that a little while ago, that they are actively in discussions about it.
That's where I'm wondering if they move him, if they go get Robin. If they go get Robin, no, not even Mattel, not even Cattell, Marte. I would think they would be also in on Jorge Polanco too.
Do you guys think he has value? Like, where is his value right now? Is it down? Is it up? Is it like where is it?
You're talking about Jazz?
No. I'm talking about Jazz because I mean Jazz is up, and he didn't even have a great postseason. It wasn't.
But I think Jazz is up because of the 30-30 season, because of the because Jazz
has
really
career season with us.
Yeah, Jazz hasn't had a season like that his whole career, really. Like this was like Jazz's like break. Listen, he's not a great fielder, but his 30-30 stuff, everybody was so focused on that this year. And then of course, if you spread it out to his year and a half in pinstripes, it's actually 40-40 over 162. So it's when you a 40-40 guy, even a 30-30 guy just doesn't come around often. So I think the market's high for that. It's just teams need to figure out what they want with him. Do you want the 30-30 guy with that pop and style, or are you worried about your up the middle defense? Because we always say up the middle defense is so important. So and the worst part was the Yankees had the worst infield in baseball, the worst middle infield in baseball last year. Volpe was 4th in errors, Jazz was 5th. So it's just it's tough when you look at what to do, because we always keep hearing that Polanco. I mean, Polanco's older, but we keep hearing he's in the mix a lot. I've heard that over the last few days. I wonder, if that's the move. Although I definitely think that, I mean, if you're gonna go after anybody, it probably should be Cattell Marte. But I think that I mean, both of them are the same age too, but both of them are just really good veterans. But Cattell's the better hitter overall. Yep. I think pretty much a better hitter and better fielder because now Polanco is becoming more of a DH in the back half of his career.
Yeah, and that's why. And Polanco really showed out in the DS and the CS, and that's the DS. That's noteworthy. For a second, it looked like he was going back to Minnesota levels, but that's the thing. He was going back to it. I don't know that I see on a yearly basis, and forgive my ignorance if I'm wrong, the consistency of Polanco that I really trust putting him in our lineup and on our infield. Like fielding, he might be good, but I would like my second baseman or my shortstop to hit every once in a game.
The Cattell Marte thing. Jeff Passan was on our local radio here in Seattle a few days ago, and he said that if the Mariners get Cattell Marte, they are AL favorites. And I've been trying to think about that all week. Is that realistic? You add one guy in Cattell and it makes
not over the Blue Jays. Not what the Blue Jays.
I don't think so. No, I didn't feel that way.
No, I think the priority for the Blue Jays is Bichette right now.
Like when you look at what the Blue Jays, the Blue Jays, I mean, as far as we know, are still in on Tucker too.
Tucker, yeah.
So I mean, and they could use somebody like him on top of what they have, or like that. The Blue Jays feel like they're one piece away, because they literally were. They were in a Game 7. So I don't think, if I had to think about the hierarchy in the AL, I think it's Blue Jays, big gap. Yankees, Mariners, kind of same level, big gap, everyone else. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And then, like, I think you know what's funny? We didn't even bring this up, but I think one of the bigger pieces of news we've gotten from the last week, and because we thought that there's this whole talk of blowing up their team, but the Phillies get to keep Kyle Schwarber for basically the rest of his career. So that's pretty big. He got a 5-year deal. Was it 5 years, 150? I think it was. I think pretty much the same as Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I still don't get why the Pirates were in on him. I never understood that.
See, that's why I don't get is why, like, with the Orioles being in on Alonso. I mean, the Orioles have more pieces than the Pirates do, but the Orioles being in on, you're not like that's a move you make if you're like 1 or 2 pieces away. That's not a move you make when you're banking on, like, if you're the Orioles, for the Orioles side of things and that Pete Alonso thing, you're banking on the young guys after having 2 straight down years. Your core had 2 straight down years in a row. You're now banking on them to magically find it again and hope that Pete Alonso contributes to that. I mean, it's a lot to ask. And then also you don't have much in the way of starting pitching now. I mean, so like, or at least you lost a little bit. So I don't know why the Orioles would do that. The Phillies, good for them. They get to keep one of their legends home, where he belongs. Yeah. But for the Pirates though, why would the Pirates ever be in, like?
The only thing I can think of with the Pirates is because Paul Skeens has been very adamant that he needs something to have happen with this organization. So that's the only thing I can think of is like they want to do something to help Skeens. But again, one guy's not going to help when that roster is atrocious.
That's not the right thing, because honestly, if you're going to go get somebody, you need to go get somebody in their prime. You can't get somebody who's on the back end of their career.
Yeah, because let's face it, even if they added him, they're not winning the World Series.
Because what are you going to do? Give him a 5-year deal, but what, you're going to get a good Kyle Schwarber for the next 2, maybe 3 years?
And they offered him less than he got in Philly.
Yeah. And
it was kind of the same as the Pete Alonso thing. I know the Schwarber number is a little bit better because I think the Pirates offered him like $102 million. I think
120.
it was. Was it 120? Okay, I'm mixing numbers. So yeah. So
you know what I'm curious of. This is why I'm thinking, going back to the whole original question that we were asked here is, are there still big moves left to be made? Yeah, I still think there's way bigger moves left to be made. Like that, we haven't seen anything yet. We still have to figure out, obviously, like we're saying, where Bellinger's going. I still think he's a Yankee. I can't see any other possibility for him at this point.
Will you guys be mad if you lose him? Will you guys be pissed?
I would.
Yes,
because I don't see them finding anything that's going to be close to replacing him.
Because I'm going to be realistic, we're not getting Tucker. We are not in the era where.
I wouldn't want him because Bellinger right now is the better player.
Yeah.
So
not only that, but Tucker is pretty much a straight up right fielder.
Yeah, exactly. The out of position thing. Yeah. So it's like I wouldn't even touch that. I mean, and the thing is too, like, we still have to figure out. Because the Phillies brought back Schwarber, but what's going to happen with Bryce Harper? Is he a Philly for life at this point, or is he gone? We won't know until something actually happens, which I think it's getting increasingly likely that it could.
If that happens, I think that's a trade deadline thing, because
at this point,
to them, and we can, I don't know, that we would take all night debating this. To them, their window is still slightly cracked open.
Mm-hmm.
More than cracked, I would say.
For the Phillies?
Based on how they're acting, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they think they're a World Series
mentality, and I don't even know that they have till next year.
And then again, as we're talking about the CBA stuff, I'm even thinking ahead to the trade deadline. I mean, it's always a big thing for baseball, but if they know they're going into a lockout, the owners know, like, they're not gonna, I don't know, like, yeah, their teams are gonna make moves, especially teams that are gonna try to win a World Series. But minus that, I mean, what's really gonna happen because of what we're inevitably gonna have, which is probably no baseball in 2026. Let's just be real here.
27.
Or 27.
I think there's still going to be baseball. I think we learned enough since the 90s where we can't repeat what happened.
No, they can't at all. I'm just saying that, considering the tension, and especially with the Dodgers winning, imagine if the Dodgers win again.
Oh my God.
The tension is like, if it gets to that point, I mean, that won't be the only thing. I'm being very facetious. Like, that's not the only reason. Like, even if the Phillies win or anyone, because it's always someone top 5 in payroll, it doesn't really matter. The Dodgers are just the pyramid example or the premier example. I really could see a reality where 27 has no baseball because they can't figure it out. I mean, hell, the WNBA is having money issues right now. They can't solve what they're doing. They just extended their deadline like 6 weeks, 2 weeks ago. It's a good example because it's the same shit. I mean, it's a lot different because there's a lot more different intricacies. But it is salary cap. It is money. We might not get WNBA this year either. Like,
I think the owners also know that they can't get a cap without a floor, and I think they're also cognizant of that. Now, I think that's going to be the bigger question: what's the cap and the floor?
Yeah,
I think that they're trying to have baseball, even the cheap owners. Although some days I look sideways at people like John Henry, Bob Nutting, and
the thing that I don't understand is what happens to all these current contracts. If they just say, "Oh, we're doing a salary cap and salary floor," do they just stick and we just leave?
Yeah, I think they're legally grandfathered in.
Yeah, they'll just stick, and then everyone else it's kind of
because that's already a contract in progress.
Yeah, so that's also a thing. How are they gonna juxtapose that? I have no fucking idea. I genuinely don't. Excuse my language. I just have no idea.
They might go work for our today's sponsor, Hidden Valley Ranch, who gave me this Christmas ornament. By the way, no, we're not actually sponsored by anybody.
First off, how are you in contact with Hidden Valley Ranch?
I'm not. Hidden Valley Ranch, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
But also, why would you want a ranch ornament? Please tell me there's ranch in the ornament.
CVS.
Please tell me there's actual ranch in the ornament, and you can just
no, there isn't.
Yeah,
why would I keep it out if there was?
Oh my god!
No, it's hollow. It's absolutely hollow. I just looked at it and I was like, "Oh, this looks like a good thing."
You should find a way to put some ranch in it.
Oh, maybe. Kind of looks really out of place with the rest of the tree, honestly. Now that I did.
Oh, if we're breaking out Christmas ornaments, hold on 1 second.
Oh boy,
hold on, because I do this every year.
Well, I'll bring out something too. Hold on, I'll bring out something good.
Look at this.
Well, while we wait,
Yoda.
You tried Crest.
It's Baby Yoda. I have my very own. I forget who got this for me. It was like 2 years ago. Rob, okay. That guy I heard that clattering. 2 or 3 years ago. Got this.
All my bottles.
Baby Yoda. I gotta put this on my tree in my room.
They're all my trash can and recycling, but yeah.
Unfortunately, Baby Yoda looks
like looking at all of us like this is going way off the rails.
He's seen some things, but it's fine. I don't know. I'm very much in the Christmas spirit. As we're getting closer, as we're exactly.
You like my friends at Leffe Beer? I actually don't know if that's how that's pronounced. Also, we're not sponsored by any of these people. I legally have to say that.
What is that you're holding?
Left beer or left.
The clattering was me trying to get this thing because it's gigantic, and I've spilled all my collectible bottles. Anyone want a Dune popcorn bucket?
Oh Jesus!
Freaking what?
We're gonna get sued.
What the hell is that?
Oh man!
You know why Rob's apartment is clattering behind him? Because he didn't use our other sponsors at Storage Mart.
That's true. I need to store these bottles. But yeah, this popcorn. I have this one, and then I have the Wolverine one.
Oh God!
Welcome to Nabisco. What's the scoop?
Oh jeez. Can you imagine if we had like a company sponsor before, like as a part of the show title, like what's the scoop? Sponsored by or
sponsored by AMC Theaters.
Who's his white ass scoop?
What's the scoop? Sponsored by Tostitos.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait a minute. Can we get the Tostitos? What's the scoop bowl?
That's what I was.
We're gonna have a class action in the reverse against us tomorrow. Like everybody we just mentioned is gonna sue us.
Oh man!
I think this bucket should have been sued.
Look at this.
Yeah, stop showing its suggestive parts.
Now the FCC is going to take us off.
I can't even tell what I was looking at.
Yeah, man. We all know what we thought the first time.
You don't even want to know what that's used for.
Dude, me eating popcorn out of it. I didn't even watch. This wasn't even when I saw Dune. I think I saw another movie.
Popcorn out of that.
And I went.
Anything else that bravo to you, good sir.
By the way, the amount of popcorn you can put in this is insane. I'm just being real.
Yeah, because
it's gigantic.
Yeah. All right, so baseball was fun.
I don't know how the hell we got onto that, but so
what's next on the list?
Well, Rob, I know you wanted to talk about the Thunder,
and
I don't mean the weather in the Pacific Northwest. So
no, let's do it. This is gonna. I'm being real, guys. This is gonna be the greatest basketball team in the history of basketball by the end of the year. I'm gonna go that far after yesterday, and guys, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is dumb. What they're doing is dumb, and it makes they won by 50 yesterday. Their entire starting lineup yesterday, I believe it was against the Suns in the quarterfinal, didn't play in the fourth quarter. Their whole starting lineup sat in the fourth quarter. Everyone sat.
I need Adam Silver to step in here. I need us to come up with
not again. Well, you know what's funny? They're not a super team. They built this. That's what's crazy.
So that's the crazy part, right? If you look at SGA's stats, he looks like an MVP. He's maybe only played 4 fourth quarters all year. He hasn't played in the fourth at all year long, which is amazing. And so that's what I was saying last night, because I was thinking about this. People eventually are going to get pissed at this team and be like, oh, screw them. But I'm like, guys, you can't, because it's your fault.
Yeah,
the owners gave them all these draft picks. The Clippers said, "Hey, let's bring in Paul George. We'll give you SGA." You can't. And by the way, we talked about the Nets before we came on. I know Brandon wants someone in the top 3. Guess who you could be jumped by, Brandon? The Thunder, and you probably will, to be honest, because the Clippers suck that much. So the Thunder are only going to get better, and all of their main guys. So their bench is going to get dusted. We're talking AJ Mitchell, Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Hardenstein. Even when his contract, bench is going to get dusted because second apron. I'm not going to get into second apron here. Well, I'll do it another time. But their bench is going to get dusted, and it's not going to matter because they're going to have draft picks to fill those roles. It's literally not going to matter at all. So, and SGA's 4 years, $100 million. Chad, I think, is going to get done, or he'll be done. They're going to have a starting 5 of all NBA players in the next 2 years, where every spot is an all NBA player. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
And it's homegrown. It's all homegrown.
It's all homegrown. And what I find crazy about this team, I was telling Brandon last week, because I was like, yo, put on NBC, put on Peacock, what? Because they were playing the Warriors, right? Mm-hmm. And the game was really close, and I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Literally 2 minutes after I texted Brandon, the Thunder were up by 10. The game was over.
Yeah, I tried to.
I was like, what just happened? What the hell?
The second I went to put it on, I'm like, oh, this isn't the game I was promised. This isn't the game I was promised. What happened here?
This team is stupid. They're gonna win. I'm gonna be honest, guys. They're easily gonna win 75 games, and they're gonna win 75 games. Let's say SGA and Chet, God forbid, get injured for a month. It doesn't matter. Because their bench is that good. They're still going to win games. They're going to win 75 games just using their bench. It doesn't matter. It's OKC and everyone else. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, this is going to be the greatest roster in the history of the NBA. I'm willing to say that because this bench is so stupid they can win the NBA Finals by themselves. That's how dumb it is. It's literally dumb. It's literally dumb. I sent this to you guys yesterday, and we can kind of move on from it. But I sent this to Scoop, and I sent this to you guys yesterday, and this is probably their most mind-blowing stat through 25 games. Mark Stein reposted this from another account. Who I can't say her name, but I apologize. Either way, OKC has outscored. This is from yesterday, so 25 games. OKC has outscored opponents by 437 points this season, the largest differential through 25 games in NBA history. 90 points better than the team with the second best differential, the 07-08 Boston Celtics.
I think I saw that, yeah.
437 points
in 25 games. That's like, I think if I did that math correctly, that's like 16 points a game.
That means I know what I'm not watching on December 28th.
Yep. Yeah, that's 17, basically 17.5 a game, so 17, 18 points a game.
Yeah, it's 76ers versus Thunder. I even if Embiid is there.
But here's what's crazy. I turn
There's a
them
crazier
on.
part.
Yeah, I turn them on occasion. You would think that a team that good is kind of boring, right? Even if they're up by a lot, they're fucking fun. I can't take my eyes off them. The team is fun. They're playing the most organic, most beautiful style of basketball you'll ever see. They're literally worth watching every night, even if they're up by 30. It's insane.
You know what I love? You know what's one thing I really love about, and I haven't watched them too much this year, but
Me
one
neither.
thing I do.
I watched 5 minutes and my eyes are glued. My eyes are just like
I can't watch basketball in general for obvious reasons.
You know, it's hit or miss for me.
What was that? What was that? But I am just really impressed by the fact that, because in contrast to what we saw with teams like the Warriors a decade ago or whatever, this team just plays horrendously, and I mean that in a positive way, like just absurdly crisp defense. They are
so good.
Not only that, they are so physical on defense. Even their bench is like that. They're like the most physical team.
It's like they're combining the 90s Bulls and that Warriors team and putting it together. It's like you still have the physicality of that era, but then the modern play of that Warriors team. It's ridiculous.
Right now this season, I'm just gonna say this really quick. So Shea's barely played a fourth quarter. He's averaging 32.6 points per game, and 6.5 assists, and he's barely playing fourth quarters.
That's absurd. I was looking at the team numbers. So the Rockets and the Warriors are tied for second in points allowed per game at 110.7. The Thunder are 103.3. They're allowing almost 8 points a game less than the other two on average. I'll add on to that. That margin encompasses the next 20 teams on the list.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm serious. If you have, as Scoop said with the defense and how great they are defensively, just put on an OKC Thunder game for 5 minutes.
I mean, if you watch the NBA playoffs last year, they were killing teams defensively,
and they're better. They're 100 times better than they were last year.
Oh.
I mean it. They're 100 times better.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. They're going to end up being the greatest team ever. And by the way, in the next 10 years, basketball might die because they might win 7 titles.
But it's like
probably
it's a super team that's easy to root for because it's homegrown.
Yeah.
But people are eventually going to get mad at them, and I'm going to be the one in Twitter comment sections being like, hey, you idiots, yell at the fucking Clippers, yell at the Jazz.
Sixers.
Excuse my language. Yell at everyone else. Don't yell at them.
Yeah,
It's everyone else's fucking fault. Excuse me.
the only Seattle person who's going to be defending the Thunder.
Yeah, because as a Seattle guy,
it's still technically your franchise. Technically,
no.
It's just
excuse my language, but all I'm trying to say, I'm just trying to emphasize. I'm sorry, Scoop, for cursing on your podcast.
I don't care.
I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying to say there are going to be people who are going to be so mad about this team, and I'll be like, guys, if you want to be mad at the rest of the league. They're doing everything right. Be mad at the rest of the damn league.
I knew that I couldn't remember the exact numbers, so I pulled them up real quickly. The Thunder, in the next few years, this coming season, they stand to add 3 additional first-round picks and a second-round pick.
Two of those picks, or one of them is pretty much already guaranteed to be in the top 5, essentially, or at least in the lottery. Another one might be 9th if they get lucky.
Oh my God.
So they'll have 2 of them. They might have the 2nd overall pick and the 9th overall pick.
2 top 10 picks. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
The following year, another 3 first-rounders and a second-rounder. and then first-rounders, 1 each in 2028 and 2029. And during that period of time, the amount of picks that they stand to send to other teams,
0.
Goose egg.
0. And by the way, I'll add one more thing that's going to blow your guys' mind. So Giannis right now is maybe considering a trade. You know who has the best trade package for Giannis right now?
Didn't I say that last week, Brandon?
Yeah.
The Thunder have the best trade. They're not going to do it because they're happy. Why would they do it? But if they wanted to, they could. And that's for any other star in the next 2 years. They have the best package you could ever ask for. And they could feasibly do it with enough money because they have enough money on the books and the bench.
Oh, what'd I just do?
That's fine. You just flip man Rob. That's fine.
Okay.
So that's the whole OKC thing. Please watch them. Enjoy it because it's actually amazing. And and enjoy them hosting the NBA Finals this year again.
Or the next 5.
Or the next 5 or the next 7. Enjoy it.
It's just wild to me to see how that all has.
Sam Presti is the greatest GM in the history of sports.
Yes,
by the end of this.
Sam Presti has done a heck of a job, especially because and they kind of did what we thought the Sixers were trying to do with the process thing. In terms of like stockpiling picks, and Jay is not happy with me right now.
Move on, counselor.
You could be Brooklyn.
No, we could not be Brooklyn. Don't ever say that again.
Listen, it could always be worse. You could be Brooklyn. You could be the team that packages complete cores, gives them to other teams. Look at what Cleveland did with our core. Look at what they've done with our core. They're one of the top teams in the East.
The thing I will say the thing I'll say for you, Jay, which is kind of amazing when it comes to the Sixers in terms of watching them this year.
Yeah.
You guys should just move on from Paul George. You don't need him. You have a young core that's so good.
At this point, Paul George is retired.
You have a young core that is so fun, and
with VJ?
actually build with VJ with Maxey. You don't need Paul George. You should get rid of.
How's Bailey doing this year? I haven't looked.
Ace Bailey?
Yeah.
Talking about Ace Bailey? He's just stuck on their roster. Like he has no room.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got talked out of the hype of Ace Bailey. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
But here's the thing: VJ is going to be inconsistent and he has shown this year statistically. VJ is going to be inconsistent because of he's a rookie. Because obviously these guys are inconsistent. But secondly, Paul George is taking up so much of his usage. He's not going to get as much opportunity as
Thank you.
Why does it like every team Paul George lands on in the last 5 years believes that all of a sudden he's going to revert back to 2016, 2017?
I don't know. I mean, look, I was happy about it when he first signed.
2013 Paul George. Jesus.
No, listen, I fell into that trap, and I was happy about it when he first signed because I thought,
should have been. It's Paul George.
Huh?
Oh, you should have been because it's Paul George. Oh, I forgot the elephant in the room. I apologize, Jay. Not only should you trade Embiid, you should probably cut him and eat the money. You don't need. I know.
I do that. I can't do it to the man.
Can't walk. He can't walk. He can't walk, and he's getting more usage than DJ, and he can't walk. It's not okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm ready to put my future on Adam Bona yet, even though Adam Bona's a beast. But
hey, wait! I rather start Drummond. I rather start Drummond than Embiid right now. I'll be real.
Yeah. This is what I hate about basketball: is that you never know without your big star like Embiid, because Embiid can still hoop. It's just that the time management is the problem there.
He's got Todd Gurley's knees. Yeah,
it's worse than Todd Gurley.
But man,
I mean, listen, dude still dropped 50 points on one knee and one eye at one point in the series with the Knicks. I'm still hanging on to that. And this is where I say I'm too nostalgic to trade him or even get rid of him. And not the only that, I don't think there's anybody you can really trade him to. Like, I don't even think the Pelicans would take him.
But before we Scoop really quick, I apologize, but I'll say two quick things, other NBA stuff. The Clippers last week benched all their starters in the second half of a game. They were so bad. And another thing for you, Scoop, for your Pelicans, you should trade Zion immediately because Derek Queen offensively is much better.
Yes, I agree with that. Excuse me, sorry. Everything that I've heard with regard to Zion is that that's probably going to happen over the summer, not before the deadline.
I don't think it can't be a deadline move. I don't think teams have enough money.
But I also, and that's the thing that makes the NBA so interesting, because I'm pretty sure no other league does this the exact same way, where like you have to match up salaries that.
Yeah. Do you want me to go into the second apron stuff because it's more confusing than just the salary stuff?
Please.
It's okay. So the NBA second apron is one of the worst things to ever happen in a CBA until baseball does whatever baseball is going to flicking do next year. So the second apron basically. So there were all these rules after LeBron. This dates back to the decision a little bit, but obviously a lot has changed in the NBA since then. But like you keep your homegrown guys kind of thing, or you try to. That was the first step. The second step was the second apron, which I have no idea why the PA agreed to it. I don't understand. So basically what you're going to have happen is, and that's why I said the Thunder's core is going to be shafted or their bench core pretty much, because other than the contracts you've already signed, like your SGA or whatever, for Thunder's example, the rest of your roster is in so much flux. So basically, when it comes to the second apron, you only have a certain amount of money you can hit. And if you hit over the second apron, you have to pay a massive amount of luxury tax. Actually, a better example is the Boston Celtics right now. The Boston Celtics right now, their only real available player they can trade is Derek White because they got Tatum on a crazy contract. They got Brown on a crazy contract. Derek White's like the only tradable guy right now. Because if they trade anybody, same with Cleveland, they're going to be immediately in the second apron. They're going to have to spend a ton of money. Basically, what's going to happen in the next 5 years in the NBA is you're going to have maybe 2 or 3 guys be like top heavy, like it's always been in the NBA. But what it's really bad is the veterans. You know how veterans maybe get 10, 15, 20, up to $50 million to play as like a 6-man on a team? That player is going to only make $2 million. Oh. So the money for veterans, that's why Jonas Valanciunas was considering going to Greece. Bench players are going to make more money overseas in the NBA with the second apron than they would in the NBA because of how the structure of the salary is. So it's impossible to make trades, and veterans get absolutely screwed.
So it might eventually kill the sport.
It could if it gets as bad as we think it could. Yeah. So yeah, that's the whole thing about the second apron.
And this is the thing that I was talking to. I can't remember if I was talking to Brandon about it or I was talking to somebody about it recently, and that's kind of the issue that I have where I love the sport of basketball, but in terms of the big four sports leagues, the NBA is my least favorite league, and it's not close because
you don't play fantasy basketball like I do. If you play fantasy basketball, you have to watch it every night. If you don't, it's not worth watching. I'll be real.
And if your team sucks like mine and Scoop does.
Yeah,
I do play Flint. I do play fantasy basketball, but I have a co-owner as well.
Yeah. See, I have to watch basketball on a daily basis and do like 5 hours of work on my team every day in order to survive. Because I'm gonna
GM, like an actual GM.
Yeah. That's what's ridiculous.
Where do you like have the time to do everything you do?
I don't know. I have no idea.
At least I respect the answer, but
it's at least 2 to 5 hours every day, like watching YouTube videos, reading up on players. Like you have to like know what you're doing, or you will die.
Yeah, that's me more in like baseball and football. But I'm trying to remember what the hell my point was going to be.
Favorite league,
and nobody cares about hockey except for me. Damn it!
I mean,
what the hell? You and the Devils.
Yeah.
Except you probably need to remove everything that resembles glass in the Devils locker room, but
including Cody Glass.
Yeah,
but still, Jesus.
But
least favorite league. Your least favorite league, Scoop.
Wait, really quick. You know what's funny? I think I got Scoop to like soccer more than basketball because of Football Manager.
That's 100% true.
How is that possible?
But excuse me. Let me try that again. But the fact that the NBA just has so because obviously, how do we all most of the time end up when we follow sports, we follow our favorite team mostly, and it's just becoming increasingly impossible to develop when God willing, any or all of us have kids down the road.
I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah. So how are we going to be able, especially if you don't live in a city with a basketball team? How are you going to sell these to? What was that?
No, I was gonna say I technically don't because they took the Nets out of Jersey, just like they took the Sonics out of Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, actually, technically where my mom lives in Rochester, technically, we used to have an NBA team, but
I know that. Yeah.
That was 70 years ago. The Rochester Royals won the 51 championship, and actually, Richie Reagan, after whom the Seton Hall Athletic Center was named, was affiliated with that team.
So basically, the NBA now it's relying on highlights a lot, which is
I still couldn't believe that Adam Silver went and said, "Well, we're basically a highlight sport now."
And they are. They've been a highlight sport for 10 years now. No, but so it's that. It's if you play fantasy as hard as I do, you have to focus on it. It makes it more fun. Because I know random players in the NBA, and I think it's just kind of fun to know all these random names.
I definitely know random players from fantasy and from 2K that I would never have known just from watching the sport.
Exactly. So but then thirdly, like the Luka Doncic trade kind of was an eye opener for a lot of people. I know Bill Simmons talked about this specifically, where it's like players and owners don't have loyalty to each other anymore, so you might as well just follow a player that you like and leave it at that. That's it. Like that's what the sport is.
That's basically that's like you said, Rob. That's basically where I was going with that because that candle looks like it's made of sugar. But
you can. I'm sure you can add more to that scoop than I had. But that's
but it's just like because like for what the I just don't really know what it's going to look like in 15, 20, 30 years, because not only is it not loyalty when it comes to free agency and things like that, which again, that's been a tale as old as time for the past 20, 30 years in any sport. But now you've got definitely more than I would say in any other major sport in America. You've got players that can just, on a whim, off of pure emotion, basically hold a team hostage, force their way to get to another team, usually of their choice. The only one I can think of who didn't go to the team specifically of their choice was Donovan Mitchell.
And Donovan, and by the way, Donovan wanted the Knicks firstly, but when he went to Cleveland, he was like, "I love this roster." He started to love the team.
Yeah, well, that's my point. I mean, and then we look at the epitome of the characterization of lack of loyalty to a team in this modern day and age. Which no, I'm not going to say LeBron. I'm going to say James Harden.
Oh my God, it's James. Yeah, James is worse
because the guy was on. I don't remember how he went from the Thunder to the Rockets. I don't remember if that was team orchestrated or he pushed that. I don't remember. But
what was the?
Yeah,
no. The Thunder Rockets thing, the original. Oh, you're talking about the original one in 2012, right? That was based on hard cap. They had to get rid of him, or else they would have massively. Basically they didn't want to pay the luxury tax. It was really stupid.
It wasn't OKC's choice to break up that big three, right? It was basically
Well, they could have just paid the luxury tax, which the Warriors have for years.
But they basically just decided between Durant, Westbrook, and him.
Well, they decided between Harden and saving money, and they decided to save money. That's what happened.
Okay,
that's literally all. That's literally what happened.
But my point in bringing that up was because then he forced his way from the Rockets to the Nets. He had forced his way from the Nets to the Sixers in perhaps one of the only lose-lose trades in recent NBA memory.
Nets lose a lot of things, including games and trades and everything.
Yeah, but it's pretty hard to have both teams lose a trade, and that's what I think happened there. And then you had the Brandon, what the hell is that?
A bunch of bangs outside my window. I was like, "What the hell is that?"
About that. What was the Harden deal? I think it was the Harden deal that Brandon, you'll remember this. What the Harden deal that you gave Allen to Cleveland? Was that the Harden deal, or was that the?
That was the
Harden deal, right?
Yeah, that was a 3-team deal that brought Harden to Brooklyn.
And I think
right
around the time we shipped off the Vert too.
Allen was my favorite player.
I like
that. Allen's had a hard year this year, partially because of what's happening with that roster. But I think what's funny about that Harden trade is the team that won was Cleveland.
Yeah, and they were brought in as a third entity.
You didn't have to tell me. I know Cleveland won it. They also took our coach from us, which we never should have got rid of. But
I'm trying to remember. Oh, well, Kenny Atkinson,
because KD and Kyrie didn't want him. They wanted Steve Nash, who was a bum as a head coach. And,
he's great on Prime. He's good covering UEFA Champions League.
He's an NBA Hall of Famer as a player, but
he's a great broadcaster, but not a good coach.
I'll say this: I'm not even sure Nash is a bad coach. I don't know if anybody could have won in that situation that he was put into with the Nets.
Well, the problem was that I think a lot of it too. He was scared of KD and Kyrie and Harden, and I think not just that.
That's part of the point that I was making though. Is that there's no. It's gone way past the balance of power between the organization and the player. It's completely these players just have the organizations by the what at this point, because it's as soon as they they didn't like the temperature of their chicken soup this morning, now they want to get traded to Detroit. So
and that's part of why the second apron exists. But the second apron is just this insanely extreme way of doing it that it will end up just hurting the product even more. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest issue.
Well, we see a lot of things like that happen in sports. You can make a similar case about the NIL, where it did a good thing in trying to address a problem, but the
regulations were bad. The regulations for it were terrible. Yeah.
The execution thereof and the manifestations thereof, just completely, where they closed one can of worms, they opened up 2 others, and those worms were glowing in the dark and rabid. But rabid wasn't the word I was looking for, but I can't remember the word I was looking for.
Are you guys excited for whenever we get a studio that I'm going to buy you guys a positivity rabbit to put in the back of the show?
Oh my God! Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I'm gonna start looking. I'm gonna start looking for one. And then they popped it. No. I have so many eagle. Like, I'm gonna buy that book. I'm gonna buy Football for Dummies, and then I'm gonna buy a bunny. The AJ Brown book, whatever that.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you meant. I think I told you this. I have that book.
Yeah, I know. And you have Football for Dummies, so I don't have to pay for it. The only thing I have to pay for is the bunny.
Yeah.
You see what Jody's saying in the chat?
Oh dear Lord. Yeah. I really haven't been paying attention to the chat. He's got it.
So I'll answer the latest one. He says.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he says Nets win the MPJ trade ? Absolutely. Cam Johnson's a bum.
Oh yeah.
We had to get rid of him, and MPJ is literally dropping 35 and 10 a night or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so.
Denver lost out on the MPJ trade, not because of what MPJ is actually doing. MPJ just fits that Denver roster a lot better than Cam does right now. So yeah. On that note, I am heavily trying to trade MPJ in my fantasy league, but I don't think I'll be able to do it.
Why would you want to? He's dropping 30 a night.
Because he's already resting, and I hate it.
Well, they're resting him because they can't decide if they want to tank or if they want to actually push. They have no idea what the hell they're doing.
No, they're tanking. The only games you're winning are against teams that are also tanking. Other than the Bulls.
That's the problem. Then we're gonna end up with the 8th pick in the draft instead of a top 3 because we're gonna beat up on all the crap teams and then just lose to all the good ones.
Oh my God, you're gonna lose your mind when OKC has a higher pick than you.
Yes, because I'm tired. God, man.
Brandon loses his mind every other day about sports.
Because I want my team just to be smart. Any sport is a game you pick up from the time you're able to walk and talk. There's no reason why you should suck this bad at it. That's what I can't understand when I watch Nets basketball every year. You've played this sport.
Have you watched any games this year though?
I've watched maybe 2 all year because they're so bad. And the worst part is
full games are 2 minutes of each.
No, like 2 halves of 2 games.
You guys should really be like me, very calm and rational when it comes to watching sports.
But then we'll watch your Eagles posts after we lose. And it's like I don't post after.
Are you forgetting that we all are in group chats with you and all follow you on social media and all have known you for more than the last 3 minutes?
I don't recall that.
Oh my goodness!
Also the fact that Jay got drunk on our first
episode. Shane was so pissed off.
I don't recall that either.
Shane was so pissed off.
No, that one's real. I don't know if I recall that.
Oh man.
You were.
I have been playing the voice notes I left last game to everybody, and they look at me and they're either laughing or looking at me as if I got 2 heads. There is no in between.
You should go back to that show and watch when you came. Watch the whole thing when you came in.
I barely watched back this show, man.
You should, because all 4 of us were like, Jay lost his mind and we don't know where it went.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went.
I was so concerned and so confused that I was just like, bro,
what game was that? Again.
What
game
that was the first game of the season.
That was August, September.
That was the first Eagles game of the season?
That was against the Cowboys. Because we were on air, and we were on air because of the rain delay.
Oh, that's right.
And then you came in, and you were already fucking wasted for some reason.
Oh my God!
I didn't know how wasted you were.
It's kind of a job requirement when it comes.
Yeah. I didn't know how gone he was either. But when I saw this, I was because at first I was telling Shane, I was like, "That's just JB and J." I'm like, "This is not just JB and J."
I'm not going back to look at that. I'm not.
No, you should because it's genuinely
It was
hilarious.
a hell of a way to kick off the season.
Yeah, really.
I had to ask. I only remember I had to ask. I'm like, I didn't say anything offensive. Like that could get me canceled, right?
Oh, you did. You did. You said a couple. You said a couple things that were very close.
All right,
And
just towards the lines. Yeah, it's still a functional alcoholic.
I don't remember.
so
I don't-
so I want to bring Jay back, but I don't think Shane would take too kindly of it.
Yeah.
I don't think he would.
Sorry, Shane.
Drunk Jay, no. Sober Jay, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Problem is that you guys do football after hours, and regardless.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're already toast by the time it
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. For
I mean, we've almost.
You also didn't tell me we were live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
fair.
oh my God, you were so drunk you had to ask if you were live 6 times.
Oh yeah,
You're
you did ask about a handful of times. I think we had a counter for it too.
Yeah, I think we
I should
finished
move
at
on to a
6.
different topic. We're burning daylight here.
Just real quick.
Yo, but honestly, when I after that, I was like, bro, I hate Jay for that, but oh my God, that was so funny. I love Jay for it. That's what I thought afterwards.
It was fun. It was a fun one though.
It was just so funny because like I was just thinking to myself, I cannot think of a worst possible first impression for Shane to get of this.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about because we all knew Jay at that, but it's like Shane did. So I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna either go one of two ways. Either Shane's gonna find this hilarious, but we're all gonna have like an awkward show, or we're still gonna have the awkward show, but Shane's gonna be like, oh God, like never.
And it was the second
So
one.
basically, I'm not running for Senate at any point in my life.
I mean, you can't do worse than what we have now. You really can't.
Yeah, true.
Jody is content. I love the facial expression that I just got from Jay. Jody claiming that the Eagles are not smart. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Well. First off, how are the Eagles smart when their best decision all year was to buy a positivity bunny?
I mean, here's no. Their best decision all year was getting Jalen Phillips. That was their best decision.
No, I think the positivity bunny's better.
Really?
Yes.
He has no on the field
Bunnies
impact.
are for Easter.
Yes, he does because he was a vibes bunny. So he was supposed to create positivity.
What
but he
scared
Saquon
us in that game this past week?
The bunny scared Saquon, and rightfully so. It was weird.
The bunny scared him straight because it was Saquon's best game of the season.
I have to look online and find that exact bunny and purchase it.
Actually, it was not Saquon's best game of the season. That came against the Giants.
No, but for a podcast,
It usually
video,
does.
I need to get that exact bunny and like put it somewhere.
I swear. I think 3 of his 4 best games with us have been against the Giants.
I'm happy about that.
Oh, you and me both.
Yeah.
It's the bunny, and the fact that everyone in the Eagles locker room was okay with getting a positivity bunny, with everything that's happening in that organization, is the greatest thing ever.
It kind of shows why they thought that would be an option, was because like if you think you need a positivity rabbit, you probably do need a positivity rabbit.
By the way, I have to double check how expensive that thing is. I think it has to be at least $200, right? I mean, the thing is huge.
It was 3.5 hours of my life.
All right, so yeah, go to the comments, Scoop.
Yeah, I'm trying.
When you search up Eagles with the word P afterwards, the first thing that pops up is Eagles positivity bunny.
Yeah.
It should be Eagles Patulo sent to the moon. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Or good evening, everyone. Hello from.
Where are you from? Australia?
Yeah, you're
from Mr. Bill Hathaway. My apologies. A good friend of mine, Christina Romano, checks in. Christina, hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And then Jody making a bunch of comments here.
You can buy it at Walmart. Yes.
Yeah. It's like something that the Eagles.
You buy a negativity bunny though.
We already have you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But no, I mean, since we're talking about Philly, I will get into the this coming weekend. We already mentioned a little bit that we got the game going on against the Raiders. That's Sunday at 1.
Kenny
And then,
Pickett playing back.
yeah, Kenny Pickett returned to Philadelphia. It's already been discussed multiple times that there was a discussion. I know that Brandon was an advocate for this. There was a discussion about benching Jalen Hurts after his horrific game this past season. This past weekend. I don't know what my problem is today.
Man, if it was this season, he would have been benched.
I don't know what my problem is tonight.
I will say my take was just I even said, as I said that, I said it was going to be overreactionary. Like it was going to be like it was going to be like
we all were overreacting after
because the thing is I love Jalen. One bad game to me, like that's the thing I hate is that now because he finally has a game that's similar to every other game that Josh Allen has played this year, to a few games Mahomes has played this year, to the games that Herbert does regularly, that 2 or 3, 4 interceptions. Like Jalen Hurts is his first real bad I mean, the last time he had a game this bad, I think, was 2021, where he had no touchdowns and 3 picks. But I think they still won.
Yeah, I think, and that was his first year as a starter, I think.
Yeah, this is what I don't like. Like when as my dog, you see, even my dogs don't like to hate on Jalen Hurts.
Was that Brandy? Not Brandy. Was that Dixie or Daisy?
Daisy and Duke. Yeah, that was both of them actually. But anybody saying to trade him, actually to trade him or to bench him is ridiculous. That you don't bench a quarterback that has been to 2 Super Bowls, that has been the best player in 2 Super Bowls, that has set
to be fair, Brandon, I will say that if you do trade him, you will get a haul and a half back.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure about that though. It's going to depend on the finances.
Yeah, true. That too.
But why are we even talking about him being traded? He should never be traded anyway.
I don't know. You brought it up.
This is what I don't understand too. Is even if you don't believe he's top 5, like we do, we believe he's somewhere maybe 4 or 5. But who would you trade him for? That would give you here's the thing, because stats are only half the story. This is what we always say. But who are you going to find that has the same kind of leadership as him? That says all the right things that he does. That here's the thing too. Everybody says oh well, this guy's got better stats, and that guy's got better stats.
45-year-old Phillip Rivers done.
Yeah, but do these guys, anybody that you can say is better than Jalen Hurts?
Mm-hmm.
Do any of these guys do what he does? What it takes to win? Because what's funny? Because even after he threw 3 interceptions in that game, which by the way, one of which was A.J. Brown's fault, he throws the game-winning touchdown pass perfectly over A.J. Brown's shoulder, and A.J. drops it in the end zone. So, I mean...
Which, I can't think of a better microcosm for half of this season than Jalen Hurts basically just doing exactly what needed to be done to pull it out and win that game, and A.J. Brown effing it up. I cannot think of a better possible way to...
And it's there's people that say, oh, well, because I hear this take a lot too, is that, oh, Jalen's nothing but a glorified Justin Fields. Can you stop with that crap? Can you stop with that?
Justin Fields is awful.
Justin Fields is one of the worst quarterbacks in NFL history. I would shut the hell up.
I don't think NFL.
It's also I find it rich as hell that I find it rich as hell that Jody's over here talking about Bo over Hurts when Hurts just threw 4 interceptions in one game and still has 3 fewer interceptions on the season than Bo Nix does.
And also
the problem with Bo is that play calling is just awful. It's really his fault.
Which is exactly
the problem with freaking Jalen Hurts.
This is what I tell people. It's because people only you can tell the box score watchers from the ones that actually watch and know the game and understand the game of football. And it's if you think that Jalen Hurts,
Brandon, I'll be right back.
Yeah. If you think that Jalen Hurts is the biggest problem on the Eagles offense, I really need you to never speak on sports ever again. when you realize
it's them and the people who are trying to like play up Tanner McKee now.
And I love Tanner McKee. That's my guy.
I love Tanner McKee. It's just that he's not Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's the backup QB. And please, everybody in Eagle fandom who is saying this, please don't come to me and say Nick Foles is a backup QB. Yes, he was one of our best backup QBs in the history of our franchise because he got us the ring when he stepped up when he did. You know what? We don't need that to happen again.
He not only that, I apologize for interrupting you, Jay, but Nick Foles is one of the greatest backup quarterback stories in the history of football.
Yeah.
You're not going to ever have that happen again.
Yeah.
See, now this is where I agree with Jody. Yeah, your head coach is the biggest problem. I've said this all year. The head coach is a problem.
We've said that for 3 years.
Yeah, well, on our show, me, you, and Shane, yeah. But head coach is the biggest
problem. By the way.
The OC is a big problem. And especially when you had someone who's more qualified to be the OC on your staff in-house.
I do love the fact that all of us on both of these shows have said fire Kevin Patullo earlier than any other Eagles people or any other national.
I said it in like week 3 because the thing is, everybody keeps saying, well, you can't judge by the first month of the season. But here's the thing. People
if it's that bad, it's that bad. You have to call it out. Who cares?
Like here's what I tell people too, because everybody's still like there are still people I see harping on the fact that say, oh, well, Kellen Moore's offense didn't get going until the second half of the season. But you know what? Here's 2 things. A, it did get going because this current Eagles offense hasn't at any point this season. And B, if you remember, they started off last year in another country. They started off in Brazil. They put up 34 points on the Packers.
In one of the worst conditions of a field you'll ever see.
Yeah, on a slip and slide, on a water park, pretty much. I would love to see a Kevin Patullo offense put up 30+ points.
In a water park.
Because when you look at, and the thing is, you can go through every advanced metric too. Everywhere that Kellen Moore has been, he has coached a top 10 or better offense. The Eagles last year, I think overall were 8th. I think when you combine everything, I think they were 8th or it was close. This year, they're in the bottom 10. They're also 28th in success rate, and that's overall for everybody, not just Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, wide receivers. This accounts for everything. They're 28th in success rate. That's worse than the New York Jets this season.
Ugh.
When you have a worse offense than the New York Jets, I would stop blaming the quarterback for that.
Yeah.
That's a systemic problem. That's not a quarterback problem. That's systemic. That's your scheme.
You're in need for a second positivity bunny at that stage.
I mean, at this point, God, we got to find something. Hell, I'll take even Nick Sirianni shaving his head again. You know what? Forget shaving his head. Go full bald. Go full bald. Like just everything. Clean shaven, Mr. Clean. But that's the thing. The only saving grace about these last 4 games for Philadelphia is that you have now 2 against your division and 1 and 2 not division, 2 AFC opponents and 2 NFC, obviously, and 2 NFC opponents, which is your same team. You should win 3 out of 4.
You need to beat. Wait, who's the other AFC team other than the Raiders?
Bills.
Okay, yeah. Just beat the Raiders. Just smack them by 20.
Because here's the thing too. People don't realize this too. Everybody says, "Oh, well, if the Eagles go 2-2 in their last 4, and the Cowboys win out, the Cowboys win the division." The Cowboys are not going to win out. So the Eagles just need to go 2-2, which they will. I don't think there's any doubt because they always split with the Commanders, no matter how good or bad both teams are. They always split with them. And they're gonna beat the Raiders. If they lose to the Raiders, then there's no point in watching another game the rest of the year. There really isn't. And the thing is, I don't think Kenny Pickett's gonna beat the Eagles. Come on.
I also will jump in. This is not a Philly related comment, but since we brought up the Raiders again, congrats to the Raiders. The most times that they're going to be mentioned on a show this week. But
On both of our shows. I
Did
hate
you guys
talking about
see
the Raiders.
did you guys see the update that came out about apparently Robert Saleh connected with the Raiders? Some that I guess they offered him a huge amount of money last year, and they're preparing to do so again to make him the heir apparent to Pete Carroll.
I don't know why they. I don't. Then I don't understand the Pete Carroll move in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just don't get it.
me neither. But I'll also add. Well, I mean, I could see Robert Saleh being there as kind of like a, hey, your first head coaching stint didn't work out, but maybe you can be there as like a right hand man to like a well established head coach, and then take over for him when he retires.
The issue with that is I want Robert Saleh to go to a better organization than the Raiders because that
Yes.
roster is so bad.
That was the next thing I was gonna say. Is my thing is, I think that'd be great for the Raiders. I just think that Rob Saleh can do better.
No,
Why
I'm gonna be real with the Raiders thing, regardless of the money. It might even be worse than the Jets tenure because that roster is non-existent.
And
It's
the Jets,
so
at least,
bad.
and while he was there, at least the Jets had a good defense, which is his side of the ball.
There's no that defense is gonna take at least 3 years to rebuild. As it's that bad. I mean, it's awful.
I mean, what do the Raiders really have there that would entice anybody to even come there, player or coach?
It's just Genti and Bowers. That's it.
That's it.
And Crosby. That's it.
Yeah, but even then, Crosby's getting older. Like, I don't know, man. Like there's nothing there to even want to go there. It's just a wasteland. Like,
yeah,
you know.
Okay, guys, hold on, because if I'm trying to confirm this, and if it's accurate, then we're gonna have to talk about this next.
What are you trying to confirm? Message me.
There's a report that just came out right now, just came out a little while ago about Kevin Patullo as a head coaching candidate.
No, that I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
Yep. Okay. All right. This is legitimate. Sports Illustrated senior writer Connor Orr says that Kevin Patullo is in play for a head coaching consideration with the New York Giants.
Take him.
Yeah.
I'll pay his rent.
My whole thing with Patullo is he will be in coaching circles, not just the Giants. He will get interviews because it's the Eagles.
I mean, shucks, Brian Johnson got a head coaching interview.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love after the Giants basically handed us Saquon for more or less, and we get a Super Bowl out of him. I would love to for all the Giants fans to be like, hey, oh, your quarterback's terrible. Oh, your team's falling apart. Your team's collapsing. Oh, yeah? Guess what? Here's our gift to you. You deal with our headache.
I am telling you, he will get a lot of interviews. Like, he just will.
Yeah.
But
Also,
will he get a job? I would be stunned.
I can't see how.
I'd be stunned.
Because
I would be stunned if he got a job.
So here's the thing, and I said this to Brandon. I don't know if I said it to Rob. Here's why I wouldn't be quote unquote stunned, and I'll give you an example that these guys have heard me say it. I think multiple times now. Increasingly gone are the days where teams I think are wisening up to the fact that just interviewing the top rated O coordinator or top rated D coordinator from the past season and making them head coach is not the
proper way of doing things. Yeah.
Not only that, it's not the foolproof. And my grandfather, God rest his soul, he used to always say to me, if I were, he would always remember he was a Cleveland fan, so Lord knows he saw more than his fair share of coaching searches. He basically would say, he said, I would get these guys into a room. I don't care. Their offensive, defensive, special teams. He said, I would ask them, what are your managerial skills and experience that would that would lend you to a CEO type of position?
Because it basically is a CEO type of position.
He said, if I didn't like that answer, they're not getting another interview. And I bring this up because we saw the name that always sticks out to me when he was the offensive coordinator for Tennessee is Matt LaFleur. He was, I think, the 26th or 28th rated offense for Tennessee that year. and he got a head coaching job that offseason in Green Bay. And
right, but you know why he got that job? It's because he worked under Sean McVay.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest aspect of it. It didn't matter what he did in Tennessee because he was a McVay staple.
But yeah, I'm not meaning to delegitimize that element of it, because I do think that those types of things do still hold weight in terms of, like, we always talk about coaching trees and stuff like that. But my point being that there are increasingly, I don't think now you have the same reticence, for lack of a better word, about hiring offensive and defensive coordinators from so-called middling offenses and defenses that you once would have. Because I don't think 10, 15 years ago, even under a Sean McVay tutelage, I don't think 10, 15 years ago, I don't think you're seeing guys running bottom 10 offenses or defenses getting head coaching jobs that same year.
The thing I'll say on the Patullo thing, though, is like we've been on it since early on in the year. But the thing with the Patullo thing that makes it different and makes it harder, he'll get interviews, but if he gets a job, there's whoever that fan base is going to burn the building down.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is
because they watch it every week, same as we do.
I can see a bad, because he is a bad OC. I can see bad OCs getting jobs, but the thing is, they're
not scrutinized. They're not scrutinized as much as we scrutinize Patullo. They're not.
Because people don't realize this. Like Nick Sirianni got the head coaching job in Philadelphia. Now he's been to 2 Super Bowls, but I still give his coordinators that were in those 2 Super Bowls more credit than him, because it's right there in our staring us right in the face. But when you look at I can just see wherever, if Kevin Patullo goes to anywhere, because remember, Philly has the most talented roster in the league besides maybe the Rams.
No, they say pure roster. It's always been Philly.
Pure roster.
Philly. There's a good amount in the trenches and on defense that I don't like about the LA roster.
Yeah. Well, I like their defense.
By the way, when I'm talking about overall roster, I'm also considering non-injuries, because I'm
fully healthy.
You and me both. Yeah.
If Philly was fully healthy, I think
because right now both teams are not healthy. Philly especially isn't healthy. That's why I want to stipulate that for all of us. Like, we're talking non-injuries here.
Like what I'm trying to think of, like, with this, is that anybody that really, really wants Kevin Patullo, you need to you really not think twice. You need to think thrice or 4 times. Like, because before he was the OC, he was his team's pass game coordinator, and I think, and also like a quality coach and whatever. But who
was it? Who was it on our show that absolutely ripped Philly?
Shane ripped it because
it makes no sense.
Because he was talking about how a pass game coordinator is like,
there's no purpose, pretty much.
It's kind of what was his example? His example was that it's like a strategy coordinator or something.
Like, he gave us a funny, but the thing is, so it's like, but the thing is, under Patullo, when he had, like, pretty much ever since his role grew from the time because he came with Sirianni, I think, from Indy.
Yeah.
And they were on the freaking plane next to each other.
And that's part of the reason he got this job in the first place. Not because he actually knows something, it's because he's Sirianni's best friend. And it's the same reason with what Press Taylor and Doug Peterson did, and why that bombed. So it's
Is he still in it? Does he still have a position anywhere?
I don't think so.
I think Press Taylor's in college.
No? Oh my god. So remember a couple weeks ago how we talked about Deuce? Was it Deuce Staley, or who was it that was an Eagles coach that is now on the Bears?
Deuce, I think.
It was Deuce. Yeah.
Deuce.
Yeah. Guess what Press Taylor is?
He's with the Bears
as the passing game coordinator.
What the heck? Oh, no wonder it sucks. Well, I mean, part of that's Caleb Williams, but no wonder it sucks.
Caleb, but yeah.
There should be a rule out there that you don't hire passing game coordinators if they don't have a good passing game.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that under this whole Sirianni and Patullo kind of tenure together the last 4 years, you have a thing where Patullo is the pass game coordinator, and the Eagles, in terms of passing the ball, I mean, they haven't had to. The Eagles have always been more of a run.
I want to comment on this comment.
That's what we're gonna get to. But just real quick, so anybody that wants to take a look at Kevin Patullo, you have to understand that the Eagles' pass game has not been good the last 4 years, and it's not really because of the quarterback; it's because he's part of the pass game coordinator. So the only time that the Eagles really let Jalen be Jalen was under Shane Steichen and under Kellen Moore in the second half of that season. So let's show, like, anybody that wants to take him, please take him, because he's not going to be good. I'm telling you that right now. He's not going to be good.
And with that, I'm going to pivot over to Kenny real quick. Kenny, I hope you're doing well. If you're working tonight, I hope everything's going smoothly over there. Evening, fellas. Heard this on WFAN today. Joe Burrow press conference sounded like he either wants to leave Bengals. Who could have seen that coming? And Evan Roberts suggested a Burrow for Hurts type of trade similar to Goff and Stafford. Lord,
okay. Everyone pause for a moment. Okay, pause for a moment. This is really important. This distinction matters.
Pringles, where are your paws?
Pause. He said this, specifically this. He said people misconstrued this all the time, and I hate it, and it pisses me off. He said, I am not having fun. That's what he said. He just said, I'm not having fun playing football. Why did he say that? He said that because he just went through a gruesome turf toe injury. When Aaron Donald decided to retire, it was very similar. He just said, hey, I won a Super Bowl. I don't like the physicality of this anymore. I don't have fun with it. Aaron Donald said that year he retired, he was going to go to training camp. And he just I don't want to do it anymore. So he retired. The same thing's happening with Burrow. Guys around the league who say this publicly, even privately, it's not that they want. He's not saying he wants to leave the Bengals. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, I'm gonna have an early retirement because this is hard. This isn't easy, and that's fine. And that's fine.
Look at Andrew Luck.
Look at Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
right. So that's the thing. He's not leaving the Bengals. People are going to view this as he wants to get traded. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. That is not what's happening here at all. He's just being honest about how hard football is, especially when you get hurt like that. He's just being honest about it. And by the way, that's fine. So I'm just going to tell you right now that people are going to make this a story that it's just not. This is normal. This has happened throughout the history of football with some of the best players ever. Their careers, they just say, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I accomplished what I needed to. I'm out. That's what he's saying. Everything else is just noise.
You got
I'm being real. That's what's happening here.
People have to realize too with Burrow. Burrow doesn't show emotion ever. Burrow and Hurts are two sides of the same coin. They're the same person pretty much in terms of their demeanor. It's very much
I'm sorry, Brandon. I have to mention this really quick.
Yeah.
I know this was a big topic today. We're not going to talk about this on FAH. I don't think it's that interesting.
No, because
what I just said.
Yeah, because you know what it is when it comes to Burrow too, you have to take in the whole picture into account too. So yeah, the Bengals aren't winning, but they're winning when he's on the field. It's the injuries that are really kind of holding this whole thing back. Look at all the injuries he's had since coming into the league. I think he's been the most injury-prone quarterback in the NFL. That's mostly because of the offensive line, but still.
Of course you want an early retirement. What do you mean?
Andrew Luck couldn't do it anymore because of the concussions and because Indy's O-line was terrible.
His knee was done.
And we talk about RG3 getting beat up in Washington. RG3 hung around as a backup, but he was never going to start again, even if he wanted to. He just couldn't do it. The injuries were too much. Burrow and Luck, when I look at those two guys and the amount of talent they had, but there's such a thing as like as either leaving too early or leaving, in the middle of your career in your prime. Like they would be leaving in their primes. They wouldn't be leaving like early. Like, you know, I get it. The Bengals won't upgrade their offensive line, but Burrow also, but Burrow's tired of being injured. It's not really like, the O line is the biggest problem with Cincy and their defense too, but. But here's the thing: I guarantee you, it's more so that Joe is tired of the injuries that's been piling up.
Oh, that's 100% right. He's not tired. He's not tired of the organization. He's tired of the injuries. A turf toe rehab is brutal, and he came back early. He wasn't supposed to come back this year.
Yeah, when players say, and the thing is, and Joe Burrow fought to come back earlier than he probably could have over the timeline.
He was basically projected to miss the whole year. He came back in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that if Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow wouldn't be saying this now because the team hasn't been good the last 2 years, but besides this year, so really the last 3 when you're taking this year into account. So when you think about all the injuries that Joe Burrow had coming into that year. Well, see, we don't know that though, Jody. We don't know if he wouldn't be injured if it wasn't for their O line, because some of these injuries have, some of them are just kind of just crazy. Like the turf toe thing was just, that's something you don't really see much of a quarterback getting these days. I mean, besides him and Brock Purdy this year, but I haven't heard of the last time.
Scoop, is the Seahawks moves the Cam Akers move, or is there anything bigger than that? I just heard the Cam Akers stuff.
He's one of them. The other one is Shaquille Griffin is waived. He
got waived. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, he was just a back end practice squad guy mostly. Makes sense.
Here's the last thing I'll say with Burrow and Luck and those guys. It's like they made their whole lives football. They can't control where they were going. Joe Burrow wouldn't say after if you've been on a bad football team, like if you were on the Raiders and you never went anywhere with them, you would say, "Oh yeah, I'm done with football," even if you weren't injured. Like you'd be saying, "I'm not having fun." Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Burrow has been to the playoffs. Like, the last 2 years have been tough, but a lot of that is his injuries, regardless of the offensive line being good or not. It's the injury, because here's the thing. There's quarterbacks who take a beating every year that don't get as injured as he does. He does get injured a lot. Like, so the offensive line being bad is that part of it? Yeah. But I'm just thinking of it this way. Like, I'm on the same train as Rob but it's the injuries that are coming from it. It's not the fact that the O-line is bad. Like that might be part of it. That might be like 10% of it. But 90% of it is the injuries that are stemming from it. Because when you look at like the most sacked quarterbacks, like, what was Russell Wilson 1 year was like in the top 3, top 5 of your most sacked quarterbacks, but you never really got hurt.
Watson 1 year. Yeah. It's really bad.
But they never got hurt.
DJ like always.
Burrow's been hurt every year.
And the thing is, people didn't take much stock into it then, but I take more stock into it now. Remember on Thanksgiving night when he came back, Melissa Stark was like, "Hey, what are you thankful for?" He's like, "I'm thankful to play a children's game."
Yes.
He's very acutely aware that he's making a ton of money playing a children's game that he doesn't need to play if he's not happy about it. He's one of the most acutely aware guys about that. So that's where that comment's coming from.
And here's the last part of it too, is that if he really was that disgruntled with the Bengals, which means like we're disgruntled on his behalf because we know that they're not building around him because they're cheap. But if he was really this disgruntled with the Bengals, especially with that injury, saying that it would have been the whole season, he wouldn't have rushed to come back and play.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have. So is it the O-line? Maybe a tiny part of it, but I guarantee that most of it is because of injuries. And I can't see that whole Burrow for Hurts thing, because would Burrow stay upright more in Philly? Yeah, but the Hurts has one thing Burrow doesn't, and that's a Super Bowl ring. If Joe Burrow really was that guy, like we got to remember, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles together helped take down a dynasty team. The Rams were not a dynasty team. They were a good team. They were not a dynasty team. The Bengals, like they could only do so much in that game. Joe Burrow could only do so much in that game. They didn't win it. Jalen Hurts did. So I'm not trading away a Super Bowl quarterback, and it's been to 2 Super Bowls, for a guy that's been to 1 and lost it. So and the thing is, we can do this whole like hypothetical, like, oh, well, if you put any other quarterback on the Eagles, they'd be just as successful. We don't know that. And why would we want to find out when this team has been probably the most successful team in the NFL, not named the Kansas City Chiefs, in the last 5 to 8 years?
I'll just finish up by saying this with the Joe Burrow thing. He is not on the trade block from the Bengals side, and he doesn't want to leave the Bengals, at least not right now. That's not what he's saying.
Because the thing is, if he really wanted to, he would have requested out by now. So
yeah. And look, there's what, 3 or 4 more weeks. This might change in April or May, but as of right now, no.
And he's not the kind of guy that's gonna give a backhanded compliment or a backhanded remark, like a sarcastic remark like that, and people are gonna spin it.
That wasn't backhanded, and people are spinning it to think he's being traded. It wasn't backhanded. It was honest.
He's not the kind of guy like he's the kind of guy where it's like, when he's being brutally honest. He's like, yeah, I'm not having fun. Like but he's the kind of guy that he probably would, like I'm saying, if he really wanted to, he would have requested a trade by now. If it was really that bad, he would have requested a trade. And listen, he could in the offseason, but that's because football's done for the year. But while he's still playing for the Bengals, and many players have done this, where they've requested trades in season because they want out, they can't do it anymore, and then the team holds them hostage. The team's not holding him. You're not going to hold your like someone like that hostage. You're going to let him go if he wants to. So or find a trade partner for him. So I don't think that, I don't think it'd be, Joe Burrow's not the kind of guy that would request a trade in season.
Yeah. I just hate people misconstruing, hey, I'm not having fun and I probably will retire early, to I want out of this ball club. I hate that. I just don't like that at all.
Yeah. I think that's an important clarification and distinction to make, because again, different media places are going to, interpret it or reorient it, one way or another. Some places are going to, care more about and, be more diligent and thorough with context. Others are just going to not give an F. But we try to obviously be the former. So, Rob, I appreciate you bringing that up, because
Aaron Donald's a perfect example. This is what happened with Aaron Donald. When he won a Super Bowl, he knew he was done. So then once he got tired of it, and he left. He's going to be a Hall of Famer anyway.
And the thing is,
Sorry, Scoop. I just had to jump in and say that because that's what's happening here.
And one last thing.
No, you're good. I just want to acknowledge what Kenny was saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it's like that's one more thing too. Is like it just goes back to the fact that when you look at, when you go back and look at that whole, I think it was like a whole 30-second clip with Burrow and that reporter, and the reporter basically was trying to get him to hint at retirement because of the injuries and because where the Bengals stand right now. It wasn't like saying, hey, do you feel like you're going to leave here? Or do you feel like your time is up here? It was more so, do you think he was kind of insinuating that, trying to hint at Burrow maybe retiring. And Burrow basically said in paraphrasing that, I'll think about retirement when I'm not having fun anymore. And he's like, I'm not having fun right now. That means he's hinting towards retirement, not towards leaving the Bengals. He's hinting towards retiring. Like, it just is. Yeah. It is kind of what it is.
And by the way, again, with the Aaron Donald thing, after he won the Super Bowl, of course he was thinking about retiring, but he wasn't going to retire right then and there. He retired 3 years later. Anyway, Scoop, go ahead on that. Sorry to interrupt there. If you have anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have much else on that specific particular topic.
Jay, do you agree with what we're saying on it, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's football. It's long-winded. This is how we get when we're on FAH. So
yeah, we just smack it. This Bucks Falcons game is going exactly how I expected.
That's why we're not even watching it right now.
Yeah, I'll go put it on in the second half, but
drawn at 7. Yeah.
What did you say?
I said drawn at 7.
Bro.
Yeah. Bucks had a great drive, and then there's a leverage call on a field goal for the against
Sweet.
the Bucks.
Hang on.
The Bucks.
Back up. Can you explain the leverage call thing to me? Because I get really confused by that.
Okay. So leverage is basically the Bucks. So the Bucks jumped the line. So the Falcons got a first down and score. So the best example of leverage I've ever seen in my entire life actually happened in Eagles Chargers. That is textbook. This is leverage. And I hate it can be misconstrued, but if you want a good example, when the Eagles got that leverage call against them, I was like, that is 1,000% leverage without a question. You cannot hold the center or guard down
And use
with
him as
your
a boost,
body.
pretty much, I think, too, right?
Yeah, you can't. You just can't hold on to his back. You can't do that. So or use him as a boost, but even just holding him down is leverage.
So basically,
it's in the word. You're leveraging out.
Yeah. So it's basically using a physical, position of leverage on another player to get an advantage.
You're using another player, your opposing player, as leverage to help you.
Okay.
So,
got it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember hearing that as a penalty until the last couple of weeks.
Well, no, that was also the controversy in the Broncos game, Broncos Colts.
Right, and with Broncos Colts, I forgot. Was it because they didn't call it leverage? I think it's because they didn't call it leverage. It was a penalty, and I think they redid. Did they have to redo the kick? I don't remember it.
I think because it was because that was one of the games. I think the Broncos that was when the Broncos lost, didn't they? That was.
I think so. I'm remembering it correct because there was another leverage thing that was confusing in that Broncos Giants game too, from what I remember.
Because didn't the Colts kicker at the time, or what was it, Schrader? Didn't he miss the kick on the leverage call, and then because they got a redo, it was like okay, then they kicked it again and it went through.
Yeah. I think on that there was one. I think it might have been that one where it was clearly not leverage. So sometimes that's the problem with leverage is it's very clearly defined and the refs still get it wrong. It has to be very clear for me to call leverage. I have to relook at the Falcons one I just saw, but I think it was leverage from what I saw. Anyway, doesn't matter. You just can't do it. And it's really stupid because you don't have to anyway. A field goal is probably going to go in anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, a kick never gets blocked by the middle of the line. Usually when they call leverage,
never.
It's over the long. Usually when they call leverage, it's over the long snapper. It's like the ball never gets blocked over the middle of the line. It's always off the edges. So that's just a weird.
85% of the time, it's off the edge. So that's leverage. And if you want a good example, I'm sorry guys, look at your team because what you guys did on Monday was clearly leverage.
Yeah.
It was the most clear leverage call you'll ever see.
Yeah, that was a Jomo, right?
Yes. Yeah. And that was the most clear leverage call I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I got to pull up a video of that to kind of remind myself what it was.
Yeah. It was the most clear thing I've ever seen. I was like, that is 100% leverage, but I didn't see this one closely enough. But yeah. Well, that's all I got on that stuff.
Yeah, excuse me, sorry. I think that the next thing that I would, and I know we kind of touched on this in the very beginning, but I want to kind of jump back to it. Brandon and Jay in particular, Rob also, but I know, but specifically for the Yankees side of things, going back to that real quick. The J.S. Chisholm thing. Do you think that this leads to any sort of a trade, or do you think he's still our second baseman come up?
He's still our second baseman.
I still think he's gonna. I think what they're doing is they're testing the waters on him, and if they get something that they feel is big enough, they're gonna listen. They're gonna listen because to trade offers and whatnot. But if they feel like it's not worth it, if it's not gonna live up to what a 30-30, to the 30-30 guy that Jazz is, then they're not gonna take it. It has to really be something that they're gonna be blown away by.
Right.
For them to move off of him. So I think he's the Yankees' second base next year.
Yep. And Jay, you said the same thing?
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, as much as you hear the whole Polanco thing and Ketel Marte, and those guys would be nice, but you know, but the Yankees wouldn't do it unless there was some sort of massive trade package for Jazz first.
Yeah, for me, what it is, for better or for worse, and I tend to lean a little worse. For better or for worse, this Yankees roster is pretty much going to be exactly the same as last year. And
That seems to be the way it's going.
And again, part of that is because of the CBA next year. So they have to be smart about what they're doing if we get the cap. So for better or for worse, and I'm serious because I don't think that defense is going to get any better if you keep the same roster there and the coaching and just everything. But whatever. It is what it is. With this kind of free agent class, I don't think you can do much more if you're the Yankees, honestly.
Like you're only at this point, the only thing the Yankees would really add that would benefit them is pitching. It's Michael King or Imai or somebody like that. That's basically it. Like anybody else, you would look to get everybody keeps talking like we keep hearing all the echo chamber out there. Oh, Kyle Tucker. Oh, go get Bryce Harper now that he kind of wants out of Philly. It's like, no, man, this isn't. It's just not gonna. That doesn't work that way. Like, they brought back Trent Grisham for a reason. They re-signed Tim Hill for a reason. Like, it's just the tough part is I really would want to see. I would love to see them add one starter, whether that's Michael King or Imai. Like, I'm still holding out hope for one of them, just because I feel like you can't have enough pitching, especially starting pitching, and our starting pitching is hurt. Like our main pitchers are always hurt every year, so I really want to see one of those guys in pinstripes. Michael King has a sweet spot, but also because Michael King's been very consistent in the majors. But Imai would be like the big get if we got him. But we also heard that he was going to sign during the winter meetings, and he didn't. So we don't know what's going on there.
That's right. He was supposed to sign, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And we just never heard anything. Just nothing ever happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
We don't know
I
yet.
mean, there were talks probably, but yeah.
Real quick, I want to just respond to this. It says, sorry, Scoops, have to ask and change the subject. DeBoer to Michigan. I heard about this when the Sharon Moore saga broke out with the Wolverines. I don't believe that happens. I understand why he's got the connect, like why there's the smoke there, and why there's all the discussions there. But I don't think so. I expect DeBoer to be the coach of the Crimson Tide next year, and I that's really all I can say. Is everything that I've heard in terms of what's actually gone on doesn't sound like there's any sort of, from DeBoer's side, any sort of intent to even pursue that position. And so, I mean, obviously, I hope that. Go ahead.
No, are you good, Soup? You want me to go here? Because I got one thing here. So here's finish up. Sorry.
All I was going to say was just that I can see why Michigan would make that pursuit, and I can see why it's in the media. But my understanding is it doesn't sound like there's any intent from DeBoer to pursue that. And I think that DeBoer has a solid position in Bama. I think he's done a good job as the coach here. Obviously, he was never going to be Nick Saban, so obviously he was going to be under a massive microscope. But I think that he is staying in Bama. I think he should. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, no. Sorry for interrupting, but you're 100% right. Look, Michigan's going to go after anybody that they can.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. So I was watching Joe Klatt talk about this. So what is it? Dillingham in Arizona State, right? I think is a great example. They're probably going to go after him. I cannot believe I'm saying this about the Michigan Wolverines. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm uttering these words out of my mouth. But after everything that's happened right now with Michigan and the last 5 years with all their scandals and everything, Arizona State's a better job. It is. Like
Michigan is
Michigan is an undesirable job.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I'm saying this. It is massively undesirable. I would not want to go there with a 10-foot pole with anything. After that, I would not even want to touch it Because even if I'm going to recruit somebody, they're still going to ask me about it, even if I wasn't there. It's still going to affect my recruiting process massively.
Yep.
Because guess what? The AD is still there. He knew about all this shit. He knew about all this shit 2 days ago before signing day, and they didn't tell anybody. They should get punished for that, by the way, and they probably will.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to get things? I forget what the phrase is. I guess like vacated or whatever the phrase would be.
The thing I think well, not vacated. I think Michigan's not going to be. I think Michigan shouldn't be eligible for a bowl game for the next 3 years. That's how bad I think this is. But again, it's how Michigan handled it during signing day. They knew, but that's what I'm talking about. So with that being said, regardless if that happens or not, this is one of the least desirable jobs in the country. And I can't believe it's Michigan. I can't believe I'm saying that. I would not touch Ann Arbor with a 10-foot pole right now. If I'm a coach, I would say no immediately. Unless I'm like in Toledo or something. I would say no immediately.
You got to think about, you're it's not just that you're like, because it's one thing to be in charge of a team when you're a head coach and in charge of a college team, and you're tasked with building a whole new culture and stuff like that there. And building it from the ground up. But that's for a team that's just been bad for so long. Not only has Michigan not lived to their standard for quite some time, at this point now, it's also now you're carrying
post. We're talking post Harbaugh. This has been a mess.
And you're thinking about that, too. It's not just having to change the culture of the program like you would at any other place. It's changing the culture of the program on top of doing basically PR damage control, because your university is a mess. So like it's
you're dealing with a sexual assault scandal. Do I want to be the coach coming in after a sexual assault scandal?
Yeah, and it's even worse than that. It's like sexual assault, threatening to do bodily harm, breaking and entering. Like it's like, oh my God, man! Like the amount of damage control they have to do, which is because remember, you as a head coach, you were also considered one of the faces of the university, so you're going to be talking to the press and the media. So you have to deal with all the aftermath of that, the windstorm that comes from that, plus trying to fix the program because it's become a mess because it's declined since Harbaugh left. So now it's like you've got so much to deal with. That's basically, like you're saying, Rob. That's the reason nobody should want to touch that job right now.
Yeah, and by the I forgot the name of the quarterback who's there, who's like a big quarterback that everyone's excited about. I'll be as real as possible. The transfer window's open.
Was it Underwood? Is that his name?
Underwood, yeah. He'll probably stay, but if I'm any player at Michigan right now, that the portal's open specifically for me, I'm leaving. I don't want anything to do with this. I really don't. I would immediately leave unless I was immensely comfortable with my situation. Especially if I'm a freshman who signed expecting our guy to our head coach to be our head coach, and he wasn't the next day after I signed. I want out immediately. And you know what? You know what sucks? I probably had another job, another starting role at Ohio State lined up, at Oregon, at Alabama, and I'm not going to have that anymore because I decided to go to your stupid school. Great. Bunch of blithering idiots. Yeah. Stupid.
While we're talking football, do you want me to go into NFL hot seat reports real quick, or do we want to save that?
Oh my God, what do we have? I mean, it's so early.
What'd you say, Brandon?
That's interesting. Yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah. So apparently, which I know this is going to surprise multiple of us. By the way, is Jay okay up there?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, it does sound like the Atlanta Falcons are expecting to reevaluate both Fontenot and Morris this offseason.
Makes sense.
The Dolphins are expecting to run it back with Coach Mike McDaniel.
And they should. and they
Yeah,
should.
they turn that around fast.
They did. Wow, they might make the playoffs. I know it's incredibly unlikely, but if they beat Pittsburgh on Monday, we're gonna have a different conversation about them. We really are.
Yeah, I was really surprised that it came out the way that it did, but I mean, again, the results are the results. But did you guys hear what happened under the with the guy that the Giants fired recently?
Oh, what? Like not their OC? I forgot. Was it like one of their
Assistant
other
D-line
underlings?
coach?
Know what about him?
With Kafka?
No, here, I can't believe this is real. Give me a second. The Giants have not officially gone on the record as to why they let go of assistant DL coach Brian Cox during the bye week. However, the Athletics' Dan Dugan was told by sources it stemmed from a disagreement over seat assignments on the team flight.
What?
I'm not surprised by that at all. It's the Giants. I'm not surprised. We don't even have to talk about that on FAH. I'm not even that surprised.
No,
I really
because
am
the
not.
Giants.
Per Dugan, Cox had a negative reaction after the assistant coaches were moved to the back of the plane instead of the front on the team flight home from the loss to the Patriots.
It makes so much sense.
Dugan adds, it's unclear what exactly happened and why Cox reacted poorly, but notes he was close with former head coach Brian Dable, and people weren't surprised that things ended on a sour note.
Oh, this is so funny. Can he just say congrats, Scoops, on keeping the Dolphins job?
Hello. If Kenny was still here, I knew he was going to say something like that.
By the way, can I before we finish up, can I tell Jay what we're doing for the post-credit scene on FAH just to get his reaction to it? Because it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. You guys saw it last night, right? When I put it in the chat, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but go ahead.
Okay. This thing is amazing, so why don't we double up about it? Because I think it's just the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Hold on, let me quickly find it. So Jay, you know the video game Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was this Chinese engineer, this is real from what I can tell, who decided, hey, Call of Duty isn't immersive enough. Let's make it more immersive. And yeah, enjoy. Watch that.
Hang on. I got to find the...
Now, while we're on the air, you want to watch?
It's on Instagram. I sent it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you put it in the FAH chat?
I sent it to Jay too.
A Chinese engineer turned a standard gaming setup into a physical combat rig that fights back in real time. Oh my god.
You can literally hear just going boom, 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 and it just wind effects. It's so good.
Oh my god. This is going to take the sting out of doing it on FAH because now we know about it. Damn it.
I had to show Jay. Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
This feels
Would
like
you
an
try
epileptic
that?
nightmare.
I don't even know, man. That's pretty intense for me, and I'm not even that big of a gamer either.
Can you imagine, like, how much of a nerd do you have to be? Honestly.
To do that?
Do that? Like,
He's-
standard gaming
by
is
the way-
enough.
But by the way, it clearly hurts because he's literally getting electrocuted by these pyrotechnics.
Oh my god, man. Is this a thing of like, oh, my life sucks so bad that I need this just to feel something? Is that
my two favorite comments on the video was, "This is why women live longer than men." Correct. and then the other one was Justin List, bro. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that more on the show. Jeez, it's so funny.
It just goes boom, 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 and he's like getting it. He's playing the game. It's just I don't understand.
That's what I'm gonna do if we lose to the Raiders. I'm gonna build myself a combat rig.
Play Battlefield 6 and get shot in real life.
Oh my, yeah. Well, that's what it feels like when the Eagles lose every single week by a worse and worse, a more horrific loss than the week prior. Oh, I can't do it. I can't. Please beat the Raiders. It's Kenny Pickett.
You know what
Please
also
beat
makes
the
it?
Raiders.
You know what also makes this funny? If you look closely, he's wearing combat gear. He's wearing like a bulletproof vest.
Yeah,
He's wearing
this
a
like
helmet.
combat rig. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing I've seen all year, I think. Because it's just too funny.
Jiminy Cricket. I don't. I see. What am I even saying?
Scoop, would you try that?
Here, I gotta pull it back up real quick.
I don't think you would.
Would
I don't think
Jay?
you should.
Wait, Jay, Brandon, would you try it? Would you actually? No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brandon,
if Jay's not that much of a gamer, I can't see him being that extreme and trying that.
Yeah.
Like,
See, that's what I was like. I said before, that just feels like an epileptic nightmare to me.
yeah,
that is also true.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not that Scoop couldn't try it, so he probably shouldn't try it.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't try it. Keith
would-
said, "What's good, gentlemen? Keith, how you doing? Hope you and your family are doing well. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm surprised we're even getting people popping in this late.
Yeah.
I mean, he lives in Montana. It's only like 7:30.
The
Well,
Bucks
you know
are.
what I mean? This late in the show.
I'm gonna
Do we
say
have
this.
any time?
I'm gonna say this on. Sorry, I'm gonna say this on FAH really quick. Are the Bucks playing in the same stadium they played in last week? Why are they in such quicksand? They can't move.
It's the Bucks.
This is insane, bro. They can't move.
It's crazy because for a while I thought that they were I thought they were a favorite to go to the Super Bowl. There we go.
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah, and it's like I told you all about the power rankings that I was going to start doing for FAH, and
I'm excited for that article when you start doing that.
And and I was looking through them for this current week, and I was just thinking to myself, like I know we did it with the what did we call the segment last week?
In and out.
In and out.
Yeah, like In and Out Burger. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that.
Bro, I figured out exactly what we're gonna do. Speaking of sponsors, we're gonna keep that segment and we're gonna get In and Out Burger to sponsor.
I would love
In and
that.
Out sponsored by In and Out Burger.
I've never had. I think. See, people keep talking like, oh, you never had In and Out Burger. It's like, oh yeah, sorry, I lived on the East Coast my whole life. We don't know what that is here. I've heard of it, never been there.
Yeah. Isn't In and Out Burger just like a Pacific thing?
We're about to get one here in Washington, but it's California. And did you go to In and Out in Vegas, Scoop, or no?
No.
When you were there. I should have told you to do it. That's my fault. No,
Well,
but there's a couple in California. There's like one in Vegas.
That's like your version of Five Guys, right?
No, it's our version of what is it called? Whataburger. That's our version of Whataburger, because Whata is like more an East Coast thing.
Yeah, we even don't have many of that on the we do have it on the East Coast, but there's not many in Jersey.
Five Guys, I think was started in I'm positive I'm getting this wrong. I think it was started in the West Coast as well.
Was it?
I think it might have been a Washington company, but I could be completely wrong.
There's Trevor. I know Mike McDaniel had his show.
Hi, Swifty Scoops and Boys. Hi, Trevor. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. So, has anyone been keeping track of what's going on in the Devils game? Because the Devils group chat's blown up.
Oh no, we're getting murdered. I'm not watching it. We're getting killed.
Okay. I couldn't tell what was going on there.
It's 5-1 in the second.
Against who?
Tampa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God I'm not watching any sports tonight. The football game sucks. The hockey game sucks. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Bucks are finally moving down the field.
As they should, yeah, as they should eventually. Like I don't think they're gonna lose to Atlanta. Stop with the popcorn bucket. God. I can't. I listen,
It's-
man. What's the longest show we've done? Is it the longest show we've done?
No, not even close.
Well, like for the-
I told you guys I was gonna leave when the game starts. I'm happy I didn't because this game's boring.
Yeah, no, I normally would have gone. Oh, I'll go last on this one. Keith says, "Give me your top 5 NFL quarterbacks of 2025." Who wants to start? Rob, you want to
Oh
start?
Jesus, I can't. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking
Did we
hell.
do that on another show before?
You guys did it.
I mean, what's crazy is you have to really think about it because Burrow's not going to be on there. He hasn't played long enough. Lamar's not going to be on there.
Can I NA this until we do our draft in the summer? Because I'll be honest, the NFL is such a crapshoot. I don't even know where to
I mean,
start.
I'll give you my 5 for this year, but I don't think it's going to be in order. I'll give you my 5.
Am I crazy for putting Matthew Stafford at like
No.
Matthew Stafford's the only guy coming to my mind right now?
No,
Drake
he's
May.
the one coming to mind. Also,
Drake May.
Oh yeah, and Drake. I forgot about Drake.
yeah,
Drake
Stafford,
May. There we go.
Just for this season, I would still, despite the 4 interception game, I would still put Jalen at 3rd for this season.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
I would put Jalen at 3rd
There's probably a little higher than I would put him, but
because I can't. I mean, okay, so I'm thinking. So who? I mean, I'm maybe not 3rd, but he's definitely in my 5.
He's in my 5.
I would think Stafford, May, Love.
No, not Toyota. Toyota-thon Jordan Love, sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
See, I wouldn't
What?
put no, because Keith said Sam Darnold. I wouldn't put Darnold in there either because Darnold has too many interceptions. I wouldn't put Darnold in there.
Yeah.
I would put Stafford, May, Love.
Stafford and May is all I got. The rest I have no clue. I have
It's
zero
a
clue.
big drop after those two. It's a big drop.
Yeah, Stafford, May, Love.
We're in such a crapshoot, guys, that I have no idea who's going to win MVP, and it's week 15.
I still think it's Matt Stafford now because Jonathan Taylor fell off a cliff. It's Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
But JSN one bank. I have no idea. I'll
Yeah,
figure it
but I
out
think
at the end of the year.
I think Jason will win Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh my God! You know who my NFL MVP is actually? I was saying about this earlier. I know who it is. It's
Who?
the Eagles Positivity Bunny.
Stop
oh
with this.
my
crap.
God.
Oh my God.
It is though. The bunny
wouldn't-
is the only.
I know Kenny and Keith and even Jody before were saying Bo Nix. It's not Bo Nix. Bo Nix has a bad completion percentage this year, and they're winning games because of their defense. Mostly.
Bo Nix, I would still put top 10, but he's closer to 10 than 5.
Yeah. Bo Nix is having a sophomore slump. If this
Where
was
the hell
last
did he
year's
go?
If this was last year's Bo Nix, he'd be closer to the top 5 this year. If we got last year's Bo Nix this year, I'd put him closer towards like maybe 5 or 6 around there. But this year, no, he's having a down year.
There he is.
no.
I was like, what the hell happened? So it's. I know I keep repeating myself, but in some order, it's going to be Love, May, Stafford, Hurts, but I would put Hurts 5.
Yeah.
And 4, I am tempted to either put, just off of pure numbers, I am tempted to either put Sam or Dak.
Gross. But yeah,
I know, but I know.
yeah, that's how weird
I-
the league has been.
I can't think of any other names that I feel fully comfortable saying, oh, yeah, this guy belongs in over them.
Yeah.
I can't think of
Baker's another guy who I would put in the top 10, but not the
He's-
top 5.
He's really fallen off the last half of the season.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
top 5, but he's struggled too much the last couple of weeks, which is weird because I feel like he was doing better when his team was hurt. I don't understand that at all.
Mike Evans with his back. Oh, I feel his pain on that replay. Anything else before we go, Scoop? Because I know we're almost at half of the game.
They also asked. I think someone also asked about running backs, if I'm not mistaken.
Even that's tough.
Even that, I cannot. I have no clue. I got it in there as well.
I would argue it's even harder.
I have no idea.
I will say.
I would say Achant, but
Yeah, I
he
was gonna
also
say
hurt
Achant
his
also.
rib.
Well,
He also hurt his rib last
I'm
week
thinking.
too.
Well, there's three guys that come to mind so far for running back. I mean, it's Jonathan Taylor, it's Chan, and it's Dreer Gibbs.
And I,
Yeah, and Gibbs. That's your
I would,
three. Yeah.
I would add into that. I would add the duo from Seattle, HN and
No, you can't add them both in because they don't get enough distribution. Both Charbonnet and well, it's not only that Seattle's using their third string running back more than they need to. They're just not getting enough. They're just not getting enough run.
Yeah.
So you can't put Seattle in.
Based on what I could find real quickly, I was going to go with Walker and Charbonnet.
No, you can't because they don't know what they're doing with them. Yeah, it's a good duo, but it's not Detroit. You can't.
Top five MVP. Oh my goodness gracious.
So I mean, you gotta include the two. So basically, I could think 4 MVP cans.
Top 5 defensive ends. We're coming right up.
Well, yeah, but like if I could think of 4 MVPs off the bat: Stafford, May,
JSN has to be on the list.
Stafford, May, JSN, and Jonathan Taylor. 4.
I think those 4 are your nominees as of right now. I have no clue who wins.
Oh yeah, we forgot Bijan. Yeah, Bijan is in there for running backs. The running back list.
Yeah, Bijan had a great year.
I get what Kenny's saying about putting Barkley there because Barkley's actually going to get another 1,000-yard season, believe it or not. But
it's inconsistent per game is the issue.
It's inconsistent. Yeah, it's either 40 yards or it's 140.
But it's also part of that is because
the line's been bad and play calling's terrible and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
but in terms of MVP, I mean, I think we have to. Is that no? I think we have to assume that it's going to be a quarterback just because it almost always is.
I don't. This is another year where I don't want to vote for a quarterback.
Yeah, but if you look at what Stafford's doing, he's going to finish with insane numbers that you have to give it to him.
I probably will end up doing that. Like I gave my MVP last year to Barkley.
He's got right now. Stafford has, I think that he has the best touchdown to interception ratio of any quarterback in NFL history, like on a season.
Is it bad that I'm soured by the Panthers game? Is that bad?
No, because every quarterback has 1 or 2 bad games a year. I'm not soured.
Yeah, like I don't think it's bad, but I also think it's
short-sighted. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
And what's crazy is
I agree.
Stafford's doing it on a bad back, no less.
Yeah.
So I always forget that.
So yeah, no, I think you're right. I think my thought of the Panthers game is quite short-sighted. So that's fair.
Yeah, he's gonna end up with there was 4 games left. He's gonna end up with.
Are you kidding me? Oh, Tampa Bay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's gonna end up with well over 4,000 yards. So.
I'm gonna get angry on this show tonight. Am I? What? Why does Atlanta do this, man? Atlanta is. How is Atlanta good? How is Atlanta good? Atlanta's a good football team. How? I don't get it. I'm watching them every week, and I don't know.
We were just talking about Fontenot and Morris being on the hot seat. But Keith says, is Trout a valuable player on the open market? No. Unfortunately, no.
Not anymore.
Sadly, no. Wait, is he a free agent right
now? No. He's still got several years of his extension left.
No.
Yeah, that market doesn't sound open.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate because he should have been on the track to being one of the greatest players in MLB history, but somewhere around the late 2010s, ever since then, he just cannot stay healthy. And it's just and even he had that 1 year a couple years ago where he played I think he played like 2/3 of his games and he still had ridiculous numbers. I think he had 40 home runs in like 120 games or something.
Yeah.
Which was just obnoxious. But the unfortunate when he's on a $426.5 million contract, which doesn't expire until 2031.
Oh man.
So
Oh,
when
yikes.
you're going to be 35 this year, and your contract's averaging over 35.5 million annually, and you haven't played even close to a full season in literally 7 or 8 years, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
He should. I'll put it this way: his talent should warrant more on the trade market than he will get because of his injuries and his contract.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And what was this next question? Scooble, what will Scooble get on a market, or where will he go if he gets traded? Rather,
if he goes to the Dodgers, count me
Just
out
hand
for
him
next year.
Hand him the trophy. Yeah, hand him the trophy. If he goes to the Dodgers, hand him the trophy. Unless they get injured, hand him the trophy.
excuse me, I can't. Pardon.
I think the Tigers just not just for the league's sake, but just for them. If they choose the Dodgers, like just for their sake, just for them as an organization, it'd be nuts. I just can't see how that's a real possibility. I know why it's a real possibility, but I also can't see it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's odd because honestly, I think you can make a real case that the team that has the most to offer in a trade package for him is Detroit.
Yeah.
I think you can make a real case that they would be the team that offered the best package. But
What are you saying is LA?
no. I think of the teams that I would look at and say, I think that they make sense in terms of just going in, being in the market to get somebody like him. I'm trying to look real quickly at at my information right here. Excuse me. I do think that the Mets make some sort of sense. I just don't know if they have enough to get him. In terms of teams that I believe have enough to get him, I would say the Cardinals make the most sense to me.
St. Louis, okay.
Because if I had to predict, that would probably be my prediction because I really like what they have offensively and defensively. It literally is. It is their pitching. Like they might have the worst pitching staff in the National League, other than the Rockies.
I thought about that, Kenny. I thought about the Padres, but I don't think the Padres would do it. I don't know.
So here's the thing. I think the Padres would. I think that they would have the inclination to do it. I just don't think that they would have the best offer on the table.
That's probably why. Yeah, I don't think the Tigers would take it. Yeah.
I just because thinking about how insane of an offer you'd have to make for that to be, and just knowing that a team that just achieved what they did going into the playoffs last year, they're not going to take a bunch of minor league prospects. You're going to have to offer major league players too, and just thinking about all that combined, if I'm looking at the Cardinals.
Sorry if I have exasperated things. The Tampa's just pissing me off right now.
No, you're fine.
Every throw is making me angry.
Turn the TV off. Turn it off.
Every
not
throw
good.
is
It's the
making.
same guy that watches London football when it's playing at 9 o'clock.
At 6 a.m. in the morning, baby.
Yeah.
But
Tampa's making me angry. I cannot wait for the show tonight because Tampa's making me lose my mind.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. But I can see a ton of people on the roster for the Cardinals that makes sense for potentially being involved in a trade in terms of just as young players. Ivan Herrera, I think, would make sense as part of that package. I think that I think that you could potentially not convince them, but like they could potentially be interested in like a Nolan Gorman or a Jordan Walker. I think you could, one of the young pitchers in that rotation, maybe a Matt Liberatore, or even a Michael McGreevy. One of those guys could be a fit. Keith said one of my most favorite players ever, Trevor Hoffman of the Padres. So fun fact, actually, I was at the game against, I'm pretty sure it was the Twins, when Mariano Rivera tied the Trevor Hoffman record.
Nice.
So from that, and then just through following his, his post-career, Hoffman's post-career legacy, I've got a lot of respect and admiration for both what he did, obviously, on the field. But that kind of was a name that I really only developed more knowledge of and admiration and respect for in the aftermath of that, because I really didn't know much about him until that day. And then once I learned about him more from having seen that record, it was really cool to.
And also him coming out to Hell's Bells is awesome.
Oh yeah.
So,
that makes an interesting question. Are they going to keep the trumpets in Baltimore?
Oh, in LA, you mean?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I confused the former Met. Yeah, Baltimore and LA.
I mean,
The trumpets.
I mean, yeah.
For Edwin Diaz.
I hope not.
I don't think. I mean, like, what is it? David Bednar comes out to Renegade, but that's not just because he was a Pirate. He's actually from Pittsburgh. So like that thing kind of ties into it, so he can keep Renegade. I don't know if Diaz. I mean, Diaz is like that song and him kind of follow each other.
Right.
So I would think maybe, but I don't know. I can't see it fitting with LA. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd be inclined to think so, but I don't know how it would work, how that would look. I don't know. I like what Keith said. This one too. Your most valuable piece of sports memorabilia is blank. Basically, personally or dollar value.
Oh, that's a fun question. Let's go around the table.
What do I have here?
Jay, are you still awake? Let's get your answer.
Of course, I'm still awake. Where else would I be?
I'll be right back. I do need to sell it though, so I'm going to sell this soon, but I'll grab it right now.
That should be interesting.
Middle finger.
Is it going to be another popcorn bucket?
Oh Lord. Well, Jay, what's yours?
Yeah, what's yours?
Do you have
the question
one?
now?
The most valuable piece of sports memorabilia, personally or dollar value?
You forget the question.
Oh man, I don't know. I think one of my favorite pieces of sports memorabilia I actually gave to a friend as a wedding present. It was a Jim Thome signed baseball.
This is not technically mine or fully mine. This is also one of my friends. Signed by Lenny Wilkens himself.
That's so cool.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. We're looking actually at selling and getting the money for it at some point, but I'm just keeping it safe for now. And then I also have an $100 Venom Spider-Man comic that I got for like $5. That my friend gave me. But yeah. And then I have a random photo of a practice squad Broncos player from like 2007 that is also signed.
That's
what player? Keith might know.
I have no idea. We just know that he was like a practice squad guy.
Well,
so that's
do you know what the number is?
34 is the number.
Here, give me 1 second.
I just don't remember who it is.
I'm looking at
but that's going in the studio because I can't sell it. That has like no value.
I'm trying to think now. I think I have the one. Okay, so when you say valuable,
Shane has a signed like I think Babe Ruth baseball or something.
Yeah, he told us. Yeah, he told us about that. That's really cool.
I do not remember that story.
So I guess for me personally or dollar value, well, here's the thing. As some people know, well, the three of you know, and some people on here know, but there's some people that don't. I technically am related to Troy Polamalu. So pretty much I have, it's actually on my thing. This is a picture that he had personalized to my great grandmother and her husband. and it basically says Lily and Bill on it because that was my grandmother's name and obviously her husband. And it says, it says Troy Polamalu 43. So it's signed by Troy Polamalu.
That's awesome.
So I have that, and my aunt also has a copy of, not a copy, but she has a different photo that Troy signed for, and I think it says to Linda, and to the family with all my love. Love Troy, like because he was married to my aunt. My aunt's husband was his cousin, I believe. So technically,
Okay.
like I'm married like by law, not by blood, but by law. So our families are connected that way. So we have that. I also have, and I've worn it on this show. I have the Brian Dawkins, the authentic 1996 Brian Dawkins jersey. That cost me $300. That's expensive. I have that, and then the other thing I have signed is actually right here. Is it still in here? It might be. Is it in here or is it? I have to get it real quick. I've shown this on the show before too, but what I have, it's basically all signed stuff. That means a lot to me. But I've got a signed Zach Ertz last touchdown Super Bowl 52 picture. So
That's awesome.
that's
That's
yeah. So
really cool.
he only signed. How many of these did he sign? How many of this does it say? I don't think it says. He signed
Also,
maybe a couple thousand.
Also, Rob, the 34 player, was that Josh Bell?
I think it probably is Bell. I don't know for
Okay.
certain, but I just randomly got. I don't even know how I got that photo, but I have it. It will go in our studio when we have a studio one day. It will go in the background.
And you know what the coolest one I actually have is I can't find it. It's somewhere stored away. I don't know where I put it. I don't know if my grandmother put it somewhere for me. But this was something now he's not like he's not like a big Yankee, but he was back in the day for the Yankees. So when I was about 11, 12 years old, I went with my Little League team when the Newark Bears, who are, rest in peace to the Newark Bears. Newark Bears are no longer playing, but they used to, they were a staple in New Jersey. They were an MLB minor league affiliate. They of the Yankees at one point. They were also, an independent league. They won a lot of championships in the Can-Am. I believe was it Pan-Am or Can-Am League?
Can-Am League. They dissolved in 2013.
Yep. And so they were, yeah. So I went to one of their final seasons. I went with my Little League team and signing autographs in the concourse in one of the halls was Roy White. So I have a Roy White autograph that he signed right in front of me, and I still have it to this day. I put it in plastic, but it's basically a Roy White kind of like almost similar to the to that thing that Rob showed us with Wilkins on it. It's basically a picture of him during his Yankees career, and like all his accomplishments and stats and whatnot. And he signed a copy for each one of my Little League teams. So he only had about maybe a couple hundred copies with him. So nobody else has that specific copy, pretty much, but me. So I have a signed Roy White photo sheet thing. So
the other thing is I do AWA wiffle ball. As you guys know, I do sideline reporting. I work with Shane on that. And I have a photo on my phone that's stored on my phone. I have to get it framed at some point of Myles Gaskin. Me and Myles Gaskin, who I love Myles. And he's actually a Linwood kid. I live in Linwood. He's a Linwood kid as well. So he's from Linwood, our Seattle suburb here that I live in.
Oh, okay, got it.
He's now at the Seahawks. I think he's still on their practice squad from what I can remember. But
wait a minute. How could I also forget the other thing that's signed above my doorway here? That devil's pennant is signed by
please tell me it's Martin Brodeur.
It is. I wish it was. It's not. But
Damn it.
It is signed by another famous devil in the middle of I mean, my screen is blurred, so if I turned it on, you'd see it better. But the inside the Devils logo, inside the NJ, it's signed by Scott Stevens, NHL Hall of Famer. So I got that for my uncle. I also have that commemorative Devils Flyers Stadium Series poster, and they only made, I can tell you right now, they only made 300 of them. And obviously, when at MetLife Stadium, there was about 40,000 people that went to that Stadium Series game last year. So I got one of 300 copies of the commemorative poster. And on that Devils fan parking sign only right there, which, like I said, it's blurred. You would see it better if I didn't blur my background. But that is signed by Ken Danico, so Mr. Devil himself.
Yeah.
So
It's so funny. Like your background when you're here, like even on our show or even on FAH, is so blurred, or not necessarily blurred, but I can't really see it closely. I always think it's Buccaneers stuff, even though I know it's not.
like I also have a thing that was also, it's in the corner of my room over on this side, which it never shows up on camera, but I have a picture of Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera together, like I guess Jeter talking to Mo on the mound, and it's not signed, but it's authentic because what's inside the casing is authentic. It's all 5 of their World Series championships. It's tickets from each one of those World Series.
That is so cool. Yeah.
So 96, 98, 99, 2000, and 09.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head out and watch the second half. I am also hungry. I haven't eaten in so long.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
So, yeah. Well, join us all on FAH, I guess. Well, thanks for having me on, Scoop.
Thanks for joining, Rob, and thanks for staying on, you guys. And as we always say, we'll see you on next week, Thursday the 18th. Same Scoop time, same Scoop channel, and it's Brandon, Jay, and Rob and Scoop.